I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get your sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Hello. What's going on? Yeah, man. I am back again. This is back to normalcy. Yeah, because I haven't done like 2 shows in 2 days in quite a while. It's good to be back with you, my people. As usual, we begin our program by giving thanks for the breath in our lungs and the life that we live. Yeah, and we are grateful. We are grateful because we have life for another day. The good Lord has preserved. The good Lord has kept, and the good Lord continues to love. And how grateful we are for his steadfast love that never ceases. How grateful we are for his mercies that are new every morning. And we say, great is his faithfulness. Big up to everyone right now. Big up to Chorus, always up and early. Duckland, fake Stenet. Not a real Stenet. Bless up yourself. Bird. Yo, Bird, a long time. We don't get the I am sure sports shirt them in a Bird. Big up yourself over there in Canada. Bless up, you know. You see what I say? Big up to Conrad Smith. Yeah. Triple E. One of the real ones. You understand me? Bless up every time. You understand me? Always checking up on, keeping Manning's man on his P's and his Q's. To all the persons who are in the comment section and have not yet made a comment, have not yet been acknowledged, bless up to you too. All right? It is going to be a good show. You know, I haven't seen Michael Garden. Michael Garden, where you going with man? Long time I don't see people like Michael Garden, you know. You understand me? If you call out some of the long time people them where man is man not see, you know, for a long time on the program or you know, maybe them other medias, but have not been seeing them around. You understand me? Bless up on yourself, you know. Yeah, man. Conrad, Christopher Wright. Yeah, Elmex. Up. As usual, people, once you come onto the program, you know what I ask you to do. You know, I'm not one of those guys to be stopping every minute, every moment, every second and asking you, please hit the like button, subscribe and share. Some do. Nothing is wrong with doing it, but I don't like to do that because sometimes in the intensity of the discussions, you don't want to take any break to do that. All right. So from earlier, I want to tell you, if you're on, just hit the like button, share and subscribe. I was listening to Cranky Live yesterday, and Cranky asked a very good question. Why would you be on a program for the entirety of the program and not even want to hit the like button on the program? He asked that question, and a very good question that I think, you know, must be asked. Why would you be watching and you are not even liking the video? Why? Somebody need to explain. He asked that question and he said, do not even subscribe. Just answer the question. Why would you be on the program and not subscribe or not like or not share? You understand me? Very good question I thought that Cranky asked, and I want to ask you that. So if you're on, hit the like button, subscribe and share. You understand me? Definitely do that. All right. Gunners Boss. Well, on there a long time I don't see how Gunners Boss. I will man. Gunners Boss vex through me, not do no show, you know. Man just come off of YouTube, vex with me. And the man just vex with me through me not do no show, and the man just come off of YouTube totally. All right, today's show we have a big author, big businessman, entrepreneur, does a lot of work, investor. You can talk about it. An author of 2 books, a man who his formative years were spent in difficult circumstances. You understand me? And difficult community. Went to Manning School and has really just progressed into this successful entrepreneur, businessman, and author. Later in the show, he has 2 books out he's going to be on, and I'm hoping that will inspire some young people as he shares his story. I overheard some stuff from a particular individual saying some things about Mount Pleasant. And I'm going to speak to some of those things because you know that you all know that I support Mount Pleasant. It's the local club that I support. If Reno were in there, I would give Reno my support. You understand me? You know, support Cavaliers as well. If Cavaliers playing any other team apart from Mount Pleasant. But if you ask me like, which team is your team? I'm in St. Ann. I want Mount Pleasant to win. But I respect Rudolph Speed as a football coach and what he has been able to do. You understand me? We have a relationship. But him know that when it comes on to picking a team to win, me go pick Mount Pleasant. All right? So me have to make that clear. Okay? So you may say I have a bias, which is fine. So, bam. I am going to have to talk to some of the assertions made by that gentleman. And if he wants, I can send him the link. He can call me and he can challenge me. But I think when he was making his comments, he did not call anyone from Mount Pleasant to come on and contend with him. Therefore, I have to speak to those things. Big up Carlton Claggy Alexander. Big captain from long time. Skip, bless up yourself. Big up man like Codfish. Big up yourself, you know. You understand me? Yeah, man. All right, so I have to do that. All right. Jason, bless up. Peso. Peace. We don't want no war, Peso. Peso. Just focus on your comment. Peso. Just Peso. Peace, no Peso, man. All right. Also, me have to big up Small Fries. Hope Small Fries is in the building today. Small Fries. Looking forward to discussing some things with Small Fries. That's the name for today. Small fries, wherever you are. Mess up yourself. You understand me? That is your Tuesday name, Small Fries. Yeah, man. Yeah. I want to speak about, Mount Pleasant for the championship. And then we're going to talk about Reggae Boyz. Coach Steve McLaren was, today he did his CONCACAF media thing. I think I heard Daniel Blake and also Jason Hall from Jason Guna TV. He was there. And he asked a couple of questions. Jason Guna, come and talk to us, right? You understand me? 1738, Donovan McGraw, big up yourself. But we had this thing that we had added to the show where we do a little social intervention thing. No. All right. So let me just say this. Two things I want to say. You see, young women in Jamaica, let me talk to you. I need to talk to the young women first. All right? Young women, from high school girls to college girls to unemployed girls to working girls, young girls. I would say from I don't even know, probably from 15, which is below the age of consent, to 35. More and talk to you first before I discuss some other things. So if you're a female and you're 15 to 35, all right, there's no benefit to being in a relationship with a bad man and a gangster. Because either they are going to be dead or be in jail. When you get that, they're going to leave you with some kids who are fatherless. They probably, depending on how they are, may physically, emotionally, verbally abuse you. No matter how much they say they love you, if a man can take a person's life, they will take yours. So don't be with them out of fear. And I know sometimes you can't tell, but some of you know that the persons that you're talking to mean you no good, and they are no good. Don't tell me that you can't find no other man out there, because they are decent young men that you can talk to. They may not be hyped, they may not wear Clarks or drive the fastest cars, but they have a purpose on their life and they are going somewhere. The mothers, them, you don't need to talk to the kids about them things and the girls them about them things. Me have taught them things for real. So if you're 15, like this idea that you need a man with a bad man you want, and you're looking for somebody to defend you and protect you, that can't defend you. That can't defend you because them are dead. Over 100, 130. That is just what the police have killed this year. We're not talking about accidents and that other criminal elements have killed. So many of you talk to the girls, them, the ladies, them, the women, them first. Can't deal with no bad man. It's not going to work out for your favor. It's not going to work out for your good. I talk to you because too many of our females are going missing. You hear them body get fine and stuff. I have to talk to that because I'm going to deal with the male them, but I have to talk to the female them because make no sense we are cuss the man them and we are going to deal with the man them away. And the girl them still run them down because they want to deal with bad man, they want to deal with gangster because they want protection and them feel like say they want somebody that if management say something with them don't like them can call them and say come kick down management, come back up management for me and them be hey. Some of them want that, so we have to talk to them first. That's not going to help you. Bad man business right now, a death, not even jail. Gunmen are not going to jail anymore. Police are kill them. And it's not like some of these guys don't have no real money. They don't have no real money. Work and get your own money. Go learn a skill and learn a trade. It's not so hard. Go do some farming. And about a thing like say farming mean you can do greenhouse farming and them things. Come on, man. Young ladies, come on. Learn some skills. Do some farming. No, laugh. What kind of farming you talk about money? What do you mean? What do you mean what kind of farming? Make your own money. Create your own wealth. Young ladies, let me talk to you about that. When I grew up and think, I used to see girls. I go the dressmaker, go learn dressmaking. Then go to the beauty salon, go learn how to do hair and them thing there. Then go to the nail tech, go learn how to do nails and them thing there. If a restaurant, a cook shop or a restaurant in them community, them go out there and go learn certain things. Get back to those days and go learn some things so don't have to depend on no bad man and no gangster and no bleacher. How you gonna deal with a man where every day him sing and drink rum and boom and drink and smoke weed? What am I gonna tell you? How can he help you? If them a scam, them can't scam forever. At some point, they're going to stop, and how them going to survive when that done and stop? If them, one thing, with badness, you can't stop. It's almost like there's no reform, because if you kill people and you stop kill people, people are going to kill you. That is the reality, ladies. Young girls, the school them, the college them and the university, no talk to them on them now. Because we all see all the video with the man with the nurse, I mean, people like, them a say like, them a call him name, But when I some look at you from the garrison, a dirty old criminal, dirty corner boy, but because he seemed to be an upstanding citizen, everybody I say, Mr. So-and-so. I don't know, Mr. A dirty corner boy too. Any man will do that, a dirty corner boy too. Dirty corner boy. Just like the rest of dirty corner boy them. He may have on clean clothes and in pants, no drop down and waist, but a same dirty corner boy. What could a female do to you? So y'all step up in a female head where them lie down. Dirty corner boy that. I wouldn't care what your surname be. It could be Ching Chang Wong Yang. A dirty corner boy where you behave like that. Just like the rest of dirty corner boy them. We not calling them Mr. So-and-so. Dirty corner boy. Right? Because me I tell you, say, if a certain youth in a garrison do what you do, them dead. If a certain youth in a garrison do what you do and police hold them, the whole of them teeth them, look out of them mouth. Put our hand, broke up, beating them get from police. Dirty corner boy. Step up in the lady head when she on the ground screaming and bawling. Should have put out public apology long time. You're a decent human being. Or it should have come from your family and from your attorney. Can't do that. And maybe it's a one-off. Apologize long time. And that is why any man that is seen on video, we are do them thing there. Should not be in any public office in our country. A beat up woman, me know say some woman beat up man, But the predominant thing is man, a beat woman. So we have to deal with this issue. So now, all right, you see I want to put them money. First thing, me always tell people, you have some cold-hearted youth at Jamaica, But you have some youth who bad at Jamaica. But a lot of our crime and killing is them pop up, them hide behind wall and see. Them now confront nobody face to face. That is why every time you hear about police confrontation, you hear say them dead. Because them really, if they take on like a licensed firearm holder face to face, and them a fire off each other, them a go dead. So them have to creep up and thing. If them without them friends, a lot of them without them friends and them own, them a be talk them out. Them bad in them community, and them bad when them have weapon, and them bad in them crew and them group. And if they want to do something, them gone and them go call and tell them friend them. All right? I saw some of them man, they operate. But that don't mean you have some real people, me I tell you, say, a real killer them. You understand what I mean? But a lot of these youth, them not really bad enough. Them not really bad. So me want to ask you this. Would you want a man to deal with your mother? Because any man, you know, any man will deal with woman them way there, box and kick down woman. You have no respect for your mother. You can't tell me nothing. No man will really respect and love his mother. I got treat woman them way there. Me I tell people, me I tell her that. Them no respect and love their mother. You hear me I tell her? Them no respect them. You can't respect your mother. And a kick down woman. A thump up woman in their mouth and her belly. Whole of a woman and she can't even fight. Man all 6 feet hard, 200 and odd pound. And a fight a girl with 90 pounds. Be a box and kick. Oh, joke thing. Joke thing. Joke thing, Aya. Joke thing. Real issues me I talk about right now. You cannot really love your mother, boss. You know, saying in my life, I'll show you that. Growing up. And it's not like that. I say physical abuse in my life. So it's no excuse. So no one man tell me, say, well, I that them see their mother and them father. No, tell me that. A lot of things I grew up seeing my parents do that I don't do. I take them things them learn. So that is not how you operate. And a lot of things that my parents them do, them tell me, say, don't do that. So no man come tell me, say, well, that is how they were raised and this is how they parents. Boss, me grew up in a garrison. And on everything we do in a garrison, me do. And then everybody in the garrison behave like Uno. Uno not have to behave so. How much youth are there 18 and 19 and 20? How much of them say them are bad and they don't even leave a they don't leave a son or a daughter or nothing. Right, you know. So many if you talk to the thing. Boss man, and if you treat the woman them better. Come and don't talk to the ladies, men. Only if you treat the woman them better. Too much woman out there, no boss. You don't have to fight no woman. You don't have to beat no woman. Let's be real. Up at the university, them say I must 8 male, female to 1 male. Come on. Woman there at Jamaica can't done. You don't need to beat no woman. You don't need to fight no woman, boss. If you come home and she with somebody else, somebody else to take a load off for you. You just go on your business, boss. You go beat and fight for. I know your body. I fear our own. We are going to fight and kill for. If you don't want no woman to use your money and leave you, then you keep your money and stay by yourself. Well, on the GS. Well on the people are going. How are going? What are the people? Because they must say the camera. I don't know. I will blur me out. I will go on now. People, don't move. Don't move. You see it? I will go on. What are they? Don't move, people. Don't move. I shall. Yes. I don't know. I don't know what go on, but the whole thing just get red up on thing. I don't. There you go. Everything. All right. Me don't know how I ramp with it. Me don't know how I ramp with the thing. Calvert Barkley, a true one. Yeah, right? Boss, if you spend your money on a woman and she are there the next month, not a problem. Make she go on with the money where she get, and you find out the whole woman out there. Some of them we have give you money. Oh, me don't move too much, but me stay still. You understand? Right? So we have to deal with that. But you cannot really say you love your mother, boss, and treat woman that way. How you so you're going to reap? Because what is? You're going to treat a woman, so you know. And then you're going to dead and gone and you leave your daughter. What do you think is going to happen when you're dead and gone? So I was saying, it doesn't matter because watch this. While I have seen those things in my life, I was a two-time man female ever catch up in any sort of confrontation. When I was a kid, being a youth in a confrontation, because I don't know, me live in a place where me just go school and I go home. I go play football and everywhere I go, I'm a father. One day my father and they around me. Some youth, be a problem them give, trouble the girl. Poor me know a walk, I don't know what go on. This girl have call in a boss and spit pan me in a boss. Them time them around 14, you know. She's around 13. And she have a brother we around 15. All right, I mean, say my girl, what you do? Before, I could have said that the girl brother run and rush me. See, you know, honestly, me have to beat the two of them. Because man is man to play the game there. So they put on 2 penalty. The wrong, you know. Because she's a female, but she that try put on and I defend myself, you know. Defend myself, you know. That me that do, you know. So, if you don't want to call me a dirty corner boy because of that, me understanding. But me defeat him. At that age, me have to defend myself. All right? And I really, our brother, me did a beat. So me just give the truth because now and then everything can happen. You must be mad. What can I beat up? Oh, wait. All right. Then, in high school, I think we did a first one. I girl in 5th form did come in my class and I take up people off a chair now. You know, somebody's mother. You understand me? Somebody's mother play the game there, you know. But she was being track on the field, you know. And I think she was in either lower, I think she may have been, 5th form. So big girl, you know. Them time them come me small, you know. In high school, I was very small, you know. Because most of them used to come and be the man. All right? So she kind of pulled the chair and made me drop and thing. You understand me? So if we really stand up in front of her face, we'd have to jump on the table in the classroom. You understand me? I make sure know her thing still, but we never really fight. But we feel it should have beat me still, because I know say we couldn't beat her. Because you understand me? We couldn't beat her, so we never really fight. You know, saying in my life, outside of that, we never really have no confrontation with no female. Say me I go lift me hand at them. Except me have a problem with my sister and thing. The point I'm trying to make, boss, how can you carry yourself to a place where you beat woman on a consistent basis? And some of them man, cause me and my friend them go places already. Go a beach and see man a beat woman. And one time other man say, yo, why you want to start? Rush him. And start rush him. Me start cowering a fear. And I beg, no, man. I'm not gonna beat again, please. As woman strength them up. A woman's strength. All this them talk them a whole woman. If you go to them and say, yo, take me on a fist to fist. Oh, hey boy, serious, and then gone for all kind of things. But with woman, them have woman strength. Woman strength them have. Stop beat the woman them. Stop. If you hurt a 9-year-old, what could a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 8-year-old, what could they do to you? What? People, me I tell you this. You're in the streets right now, the way a woman, me's a married person. And me I tell you people in a business about that. People see me, females see me every day. Every day. Like them want to be with you and it don't matter. So why a man? I gotta try talk to someone underage girl. What could I possess a man to do that? When the man have a daughter, never stop it, man. It's a dirty practice. And when I know people who do them thing there, and if you report them, straight prison. And don't let them live in the community. Boss, the woman them nowadays no ramp, boss. Me I tell her that. Right here now, you think the woman business where pass the police or anything, Owen. Woman, man shot. And if a woman say a good man, it don't matter. Woman out there tell man to leave her and wife. Them a woman out, that's what I say. This thing with the man, them a hurt the female in a right eye because they have no reason. Them have absolutely no valid reason. 9-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, how you sleep? No joke, man. No joke, man. No joke, man. We cannot be like that. The government of Jamaica. So when you have them people where do all these atrocities, sexual, they see the registry, people need to know. You can't have people who them they are one parish and them they had some issue with some, do some things with some local underage girl. And they move to you bail them and send them to a different parish and the people them there don't know. They don't know. The people them don't know that this man is on a charge for abusing 4 9-year-old and 10-year-old. And move them in a people community. And nobody in the community no know. Y'all madness that, boss. Me not agree with that. And these are the things that me if you hear the Jamaican them talk about. And I fight about and I argue about. Not just a 9-day wonder, but every single day. That is just my little rant. For the day. It hurt me. You understand me? It hurt me, I tell her that. It hurt me. I don't like it. Don't like how we are treated women. The day me tell people so my mother died. Me graduate and me think that it was time for me to help my mother. The only help me could help is taking care of her medical bill. In the last stage, she died very young. And you know how I'd love to have my mother around me to take care of her, boss. My youngest sister got to Champs. Get ready for do her heats. Had a headache. Next thing you know, she had tumor, cancerous. Time she reached 16, died. So when people treat women them way, it hurt me to the core. Because me lose some valuable ladies in my life. My grandmother. We live with a Whitehall Avenue. But sometimes me and her have to sleep together on the same bed. Gone. And then some man treat some woman like them They're not supposed to be here, boss. We have to do better. We have to do better. We have to do better. I'm going to leave that right there. If you want, you can call in and give you 2 cents on this matter. But we have to do better. Yeah. I need to talk about some assertions by this leader. Anybody don't know if anybody know him. But there is a leader that have been making the rounds and talking some very unpleasant and disturbing things with no factual basis concerning Mount Pleasant Academy. These things can cause serious reputational damage to an institution that have provided significant benefits to many young men across Jamaica. And in every system in the world, not every single person, there are few systems, let me say it this way, few systems where success, especially when it comes on to young men, is 100%. So in every system you have, you're going to have stories of persons who didn't. Early, hold on, let me have to pause this. Early B, big up yourself, Sir Marriott. Been a minute, yeah, man. Blessings every time. Why you say it's falling on deaf ears? Listen, even if we believe it's falling on deaf ears, we have to talk. And Early B, every single one of us have to talk. You have to talk too. Call in and say something. Let us keep on talking. Because you never can tell. Somebody will hear this one day and it drive conviction on them, boss. We cannot do anything. Let us start with talking. Yeah. Right? So, this man goes around and speaks about Mount Pleasant and how it treats and how it has treated people. Words such as human trafficking has been used. Abuse have been used. All right? Now, it's one thing to not like a club based on football and stuff. But when you begin to do these things and you're not providing anything substantive to support your claims, when you are into the recruitment of players for national program, it's not good. It's not a good look for you to making these public sentiments about one of the leading academies in Jamaica, and then you are charged with recruiting people at the national level, and some of them will come from this organization. It doesn't look good. And either the Federation need to do something about it or Mount Pleasant need to do something about it. You're wrong. You speak about the people like these people are going into people's house and taking people's kids, and they're abusing people's kids, and then send them out on the street to die. That's how you speak. When you on my platform, you stated on my platform that you took people's children, put loopholes, you said it, in the document so that they would never be able to play the players for their clubs. You brought them there so they can eat a food because the food was enough. You made those sentiments. And then you, same one, go elsewhere accusing the people that you said you brought kids to use their system of using people's pitney. You need to stop it. And I spoke to you about this already. And you keep on saying it and doing it. You need to stop it. Here's what I want you to do as well. And I want somebody to send this to you. Because I'm giving you every opportunity to correct your statement and to correct me if I'm wrong. You said it on this program. How can you say you take people's kids from Kingston and all over? You brought them down there, you put things in the document so that they'll never represent the club down there. Because you wanted them to go down there and eat a few food because the food was enough. When they finished eating the food, you said you took them back. Who was using people's pitney? Don't go around and say these things. They are slanderous. And you cannot prove them. You cannot prove them. So, the record will show that majority of the young men who Mount Pleasant taking, they have provided free schooling for them. Free schooling. They don't pay for uniform. This is a fact. They don't pay for transportation. This is a fact. They don't pay for boarding. This is a fact. They don't pay for their subjects. This is a fact. They don't buy books. This is a fact. They don't pay for meals. This is a fact at Mount Pleasant. Some for 5 years, some for 6 years, some for even more. In fact, there was a time when they had a partnership with one of the better high schools in St. Anne, where they were going into sixth form. They have several of their students who have gone on, had subjects, and are working. How can you say these things about a place that is providing free education? This said place, let's be real, up until recent, people were complaining that they were not giving the players from their academy any chance in their senior team because that was never their objective. It was to build them. They always said this. It is to help people, help kids. They took several kids, I know, in this parish and in other parish, whose parents would not have been able to afford them a quality education and to play football and to travel outside of Jamaica. And they did that for many, more than those who have failed. Let's talk about our schools, since we want to talk about using. Aren't there high schools that take kids and when they play football and football is done, what happened to them? High schools across Jamaica? Is that human trafficking in these high schools? Or it is just Mount Pleasant? Seeing that Mount Pleasant is your biggest problem, defend yourself. Refute the facts. Or is it because once them stop bringing people that you want to bring in so you can't make any more money, you're vexed? Is it because you can't make any more money from them? Is it because you had somebody else who was there that is not there and he's upset that he's not there anymore because they didn't want him there anymore? So whatever he would have known there, he feels like he needs to share. Is it that? Oh, lawsuit coming. Lawsuit. Is it fair for you to come out and speak this way against these people? Do you remember that first group of kids that they took overseas? Including Javin Williams, who after a while his parents said they wanted him back at Manny's. Mount Pleasant didn't stop him. Rum Webster, Romario Webb, he was at Harborview. Hodges was a part of Mount Pleasant. Where is Gary Mills? Wasn't he a part of Mount Pleasant? And then when he finished, they wanted him to stay. He wanted to go to Dintil. They allowed him. He is now overseas because he did 6 form, having completed things at Mount Pleasant. He did 6 form at Dintil and he's overseas now. You want us to go on and name more? No. If you can show me a flawless school system or an academy system in Jamaica, what do you mean I didn't say the name? What do you mean I said, I said, I'm talking the leader. I said, bad man leader. This is my second topic, Rob. I'm talking the leader. The leader is the issue. Tell you mean I'm not calling the person name. I call the person name, I'm not hiding. And I am also presenting him with an opportunity to refute what I'm saying. I'm presenting him with an opportunity to clarify. I'm presenting him with an opportunity to retract some of the things that he's saying. Because it is not right. It will cause reputational damage. And it is not the truth. Mr. Wayne, big up yourself, you know. Tell the man to call in, man. Because, don't tell you what, you know. I tried to talk to him the other day, but because he didn't tell him that I was a person when I called him, what happened is that he didn't know, so he didn't come on. I'd love for him to come on and talk about what is going on over your side of town in St. Thomas, you know. Yeah. Yep. All right. Yeah. Yeah, man, Balakar, you can call in, right? So I don't know. What is going on? Every time I mention this, Rob, you see why thing get funny. Me don't know what going on. What is going on? Lord have mercy. People don't move. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. In the meantime.
They kind of circulate on the show, but we catch few things where I say, and this is some of my time.
Yeah.
Because we been at top about it, you know. It's because the western side of Jamaica football grow and it get better and better. Some people up in the town region don't like it. I'm been at top about it both on Instagram, YouTube, and everybody else a boy ball like nothing go so. And within myself, me know because Mount Pleasant, I want the best thing happen to the western region part of football and one of the best things happening in Jamaica. You understand the amount of youth when they get out of the system, get out of ghetto. You understand me? So
don't you know youth from Trelawney who have gone?
Yeah. Remember, say one of them leading goal scorer at my place in come from where he used to play and him travel. I think him and Devante Campbell them used to play back. Then when they used to go over
is Grizzle?
I think a Grizzle and the next one by the name I think Romario. Him did get in the big team too, but him did go foreign and then come back and then go Falmouth United. You understand? A lot of youth they help out. You understand? And not even youths only. You have teachers where used to be coach and go there and get a better coaching education. You understand? Because Mount Pleasant take this Jamaica football thing to a different level. You understand my management? I put them see a little clippings where Mount Pleasant to play and them show somebody up in the VIP where they study all the players they move on the field, how much pass they make. Them are things that they need to come in the country is a good thing. So why is it them want to match up it? Because if one somebody they talk so and him can come on a platform and talk so man is man. A lot of man talk behind closed door If you get what I mean and probably all people with me and what they talk about it too. Is that only because of the freedom system I bet you say if it was freedom system where Mount Pleasant and the team system
you know what? You know what?
Come on the brother.
You know what I want to ask him? Because he hasn't always mentioned all the players that he has worked with.
Yeah.
What I want to ask him is, which one of those players that he has taken from they were 11 and 12 years old have gone on to do anything big time? Because he can't use Karim Paris to me.
No, he can't. Karim Paris a center back.
Yes, so I want him to tell me which player. See, what is his success story? That is what I want him to tell me.
He probably go use Messi Marsh. That's all he can do.
Messi Marsh is a success story.
Probably that him can use.
No, but Messi Marsh did not maximize his potential. Marsh, we used to go to Calabar, never did.
Yeah, that's true.
And could it be, maybe if he was in a Mount Pleasant system, he'd have matriculated and probably gone elsewhere. Could that be the case?
Man, I'm say the same because
how many games has Messi Marsh played for Jamaica? Just check it out. Him not really.
Probably, yeah. But man, we say the same thing to a lot of these young players that we might see at the JPL playing for other side. Me on the phone with somebody and me turn and say, I tell you the truth. If this you can go Mount Pleasant at the age of 21 or 19 or so, by the time I catch 23, they more out of the country because they more get the finishing product of Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant have everything as a professional club, like in any part of Europe, man. And at that, the people them not understand. They not understand the thing that they might try to bull force the thing, like them want the owner say, all right, we're going to left Jamaica. What us left the Mount Pleasant thing. You understand? Same thing to nothing happen. The thing is because probably them youth 70 where they used to win. Mount Pleasant to take back everything. Mount Pleasant start win everything.
Yeah.
It start show now. You understand my man?
That is it, because normally those teams would dominate like the U17s. When Mount Pleasant in there, they're not dominating it again. Them used to dominate U15. Mount Pleasant is in there, they're not dominating it again. What you should do now is use that as an opportunity to improve.
Thank you.
Your system. It's the same thing with like national team. If we complain that too many overseas based players are coming in, don't push them away. Local players, build up yourself so you can get better and remove them out of the team then. Same thing. Mount Pleasant is here doing this. Improve your systems so you can start dominating Mount Pleasant. At the senior level, Cavaliers have been beating them for many years.
Thank you. And the thing is to manage, man. He go get called with Cavaliers name, go have to get called tonight because him associate himself to Cavaliers. We can use our next example. The defender we sweep in Mount Pleasant the other night. Ming, right?
Ming, yes.
That you can play a ball a long time. But when he was at Mount Pleasant, he was that. When he was at Cavaliers, he was that always calm on the football. You understand what I say, man? Is man, he go Mount Pleasant. The things him when I learn now, it's probably a totally different thing. You're going in probably a more professional environment. You get what I say, management?
Like the truth is, I cannot say that because you can say it's more professional. I don't know how I measure because Ming was doing well at Cavaliers. So I don't like.
Yes.
You understand me? So I can't say. I don't even know if I can say. I don't know if I agree with that example because I think Cavaliers at the senior team, they have a professional environment based on what I've seen with Rudolph Speed. So I'm not even going to go there with Ming. Maybe it's a different system. So what he had to do at Cavaliers, he may not need to do it at Mount Pleasant. So it may be like those things. So I'm not even going to get there because at the senior level, there's little bit to like differentiate when you talk about on the field football. You can talk about financial resources at Mount Pleasant versus Cavaliers. But it is when you begin to come out and say like they're using kids and they're listen, how many times, and Peso can tell you this, Balakar, you know this, anybody who has lived anywhere outside of Kingston and St. Andrew know that many of the players who end up leaving Western schools in particular and end up in clubs in Kingston normally go through difficult times or even schools. You can go to like a baller. You have Mito, who was at Frome. Look what happened to him. You have Clifton Woodbine, who was at Frome. I think went to Cavaliers. You have Minto, who went to JC. You have a guy named Shuttleworth or something who left Grangeville at one time and went to. You can name names and people who.
We can't even go. We can't even use right now the striker from Frome. We can't. We are racing. He started off so good at racing, and then after that, as we said, it is very hard for a Western region youngster going at that place and strive. We even have a next player in Portmore. He was doing so good. Country coming play again. And he was just 20, 21. And he was playing good.
Yeah, but there were several players. There were several players a couple of years from William Nib who were in all different type of teams. And I'm saying that the truth is a lot of the Western players don't believe they are dealt with fairly.
That's true.
See, Rudolph Speed call Ronaldo Webster. You have Ronaldo Webster as well. Doing well because he moved from Stets, I think, to Woolmers, to Cavaliers. He's overseas. Yeah. You have the one from Rossies as well. What is his name? Kenroy Campbell.
A lot of them, man. Not a lot of them, but
I think you're talking Peck, because he came on in one of the playoff games. He's at Portmore United.
Yes.
Peck.
Yeah.
Very good player. So a lot of Western players feel like they are not treated fairly when they go into different teams in the Kingston region.
And that's why you always see them in
Rochester from Manchester. Pearson really went to Casey, still doing his Mobile, man.
Yeah. But man, and that's why we always see a lot of them in the Western region playing in the tier 2 and back in the days where we used to call it conference, because when them go town and them do all what them do and them know them are playing in a better position than a man who come from town. A man from town who look out for the town player.
Mr. Speed, me know why you put no man who go to school at town. You can't put Anderson in this. Them man they go Calabar and Pearson go Casey. They were living in Kingston and go school. Me I talk what the youth them leave. William Nib and them leave Rossies and them leave Mannings and them leave Froon and Cedric Titus and them leave Grangeville and stuff and them end up in teams in town. A lot of them don't feel like they are treated well. A lot of them.
That's true.
A lot of them. And so now a lot of them rather stay in the Western region. So that is why like Treasure Beach in the Premier League is very good, because a lot of youth from Steps are going to end up stay over the side and from Lacovia and from Balaclava and from Monroe, they're going to stay over that side. The football need that.
But they some probably 6 or 5 Treasure Beach player. You see, by the end of January, them left the Premier League team where them play for come at Treasure Beach,
That's what I'm saying.
Ball of a man to go be able to get a loan to go don't be walling. They not treat him good up there.
So you come back to Treasure Beach. Yeah, there you go. I'm telling you, Balakar, it's a real thing. A lot of the Western. Yeah. So I think you have a point in Balakar. That's maybe why some of the players, some of the town people have a problem with Mount Pleasant. Because now Mount Pleasant, when some of them could come in the Western areas and region and take some of the players now, Mount Pleasant taking them.
More pressure than that make them pass. So who get me from early just get me, but nobody else now get to it. You understand what I say, man? And it is only fair to say. But then it was, it's a speed as a coach, but this man associates himself with Cavaliers.
All right, see, the next man said this is the next baller. All right, give you a good baller. This you named Darius Stewart is one of the best CDM in Senton. Man go a Harborview, think he'll come back from Antigua, one of those places. Struggle. Had to come back down to Senton. The man is Samuel, who was at Limal, Sewell, Limal captain. Went to Harborview, didn't even play, had to come back to Limal. Rochester. Rochester is on loan, Mr. Speed. He was bought by a club in Mexico, and I think the Mexican club loaned him out. Go ahead.
But yeah, man want me to remember say this year in Bedford did the Harborview too, you know.
Yeah.
I have to come back. I have to move.
Wasn't Peter Lee Vassell up there too?
And Peter Lee Vassell.
Yeah.
All right. This baller from William Nim, he was the only one who do.
Mr. Speed, tell me about Marlando Maxwell.
Krista J. Daly. Remember when he just got Harborview? They not give no game.
Oh,
I fight the youth at 5 feet.
Pesa say you're talking Leo Campbell.
Leo Campbell. He wanted that 50 Treasure Beach. You understand? Krista J. Daly go Harborview. And after a while, they give him a one time. You know when it's
Balaka. Rudolph Speed in my comment section. And he man give me every single baller who no come from town to play for Cavalier. But so how you reach that? I know that we are talking about.
No, man, he go come out and say it because it was him, you know. But the person who associates himself with the club saying so, you have to come and try to make some clarity. Because him go you remember say
give me every
Leonardo Rankin play for Cavaliers. You understand? Yeah. So he must say them things there, but because I say he have to come and defend him club.
But we not talking about him club. We are just saying
that man
no, we're not talking about
him. Can't fire that man. That man needs to get fired.
We not advocate for the man lose him job. He just need to change his ways.
Man, he not gonna change. So much time, my years would they tell him this, you know. Remember back then when you two just start out with coaches and everybody, they used to say, you have evidence. Can you provide this to me?
Yeah, all right.
To this.
Let me give him one now. Tell me about the one I know. You have one of the leading goal scorer who was at Manning, who named Porkbone, Tavar, Thompson, who was at Cavaliers. What team is a speed? Yeah, Tommy Lee Lawrence is the next one too, you know. Used to play for Tivoli. True.
Man, a lot of the youth, them when them go town, they not get a fair chance. I tell you that. You understand? I will not talk about no one club. We are talking about all our town club. You on it. I see one little youth from down here left go on it. And them play so
good. Yeah,
Marlon
Allen.
Them loan him out. One next one, Malik Stevens. So he might play good. Then when we check, then loan him out into good in comeback. When we look at Chapitan, he end up go. Then Chapitan buy him because guess what Mannings, man? The man them say, if you don't have links up there, so you cannot play in a certain team.
So well, what Rudolph Speed is basically saying that it's be a country ball and use a Cavaliers boss.
We call country. Don't in our Western region also.
Then the one that tell us, say, give you a six. The man give you the name of them. You have to take him out for it. Him say, let me give you the name of them give. Him say Ronaldo Webster, Kahim Paris, one name fish. I don't know the fish name there. I don't know the current name for fish. Him say Rochester. That is Lamont Rochester. Him say Pearson. Him say Colin Anderson. Right? One of them man they go to town school. So I don't know when him Wayne Thompson, where him send out a Mullines for loan, the centre back there. Most of them man go. Jalmara Calvin. Which high school Jalmara Calvin play for? Mr. Speed.
In a Western region.
Which high school John Mara Calvin? Mr. Speed tried go run with thing ball car. That's him I tried. Him I try go. John Mara Calvin play high school football at Jamaica, somebody? Or prep school football or prep? Did he go to school in Jamaica? Which school? Somebody tell me, come I really know.
Man is man a two name on that. We can call and say, me sure say, we can say them the youth there. A Western player.
All
and
right.
I carry in Paris and the next number 7 Webster. Because we know so they go school. You understand what I say? We must say Pierce to them. You have to say Pierce who grew up uptown, up at Kingston College.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we not there. Mr. Speed, come on, man. Remember say we know the thing, Mr. Speed. Is that only we never want and like we did talk about Cavaliers, but the person we make the statement. You understand? We have to know say boy, all right, and next academy step up and
Balaka,
we have to go do better.
Which baller is the last baller footballer from outside of Kingston and like outside of who is the last baller from Western Jamaica play for Jamaica? Somebody can tell me that in an official game, which baller is the last baller from Western Jamaica that played for Jamaica? Meaning,
like in a me. I'm try to remember. And I talk about all the curve. Thank you.
Me not talk about no friendly. Somebody said.
Ladiel Richie, I can't think about the last.
Somebody said Turkleman.
But Ladiel Richie, as I talk about Turkleman, Ladiel Richie. A long time Turkleman put on the colours of Jamaica. You know? Ladiel Richie from Mount Pleasant, the captain, former captain, and the last baller from country we play the.
Somebody said Kevin Lambert.
Kevin Lambert.
No, I wouldn't even use Kevin Lambert. Dishy and Beckford, yeah. Dishy and Beckford.
Yeah, Dishy and Beckford.
Because he played last year, yeah. Dishy and Beckford. But if not really...
Hold on, the first thing we just call, what name? Lambert.
Yeah, Lambert.
Yeah, we can't say Lambert because Lambert...
But them money, even them money, you know, like Lambert, a long time Lambert leave Jamaica still, you know.
Yeah, so...
And he's not from Western Jamaica. Dishy and Beckford is from Western Jamaica. Paris is not from Western Jamaica.
Yeah.
So the last ball from Western...
Fletcher.
No, man, when last Jordan Fletcher played for Jamaica. Dishy and Beckford is the last one.
Yeah, for real. Dishy and Beckford.
Yeah.
But man, Jamaica football will do good now, you know. Remember anytime the West is happy, you know. Jamaica football do good, you know. You understand? And me here say something earlier, say if we are getting the English baseballers to come in and the local baseball they need to improve. Man, no one them to know, because me hear them and make up so nice. Jamaica artist striker right now is Trevante Stewart, you know. You understand what I say? You have Campbell from Cavaliers where they play good. Webster still, where they play left back. Krista J. Daly. You have Shaxwell. A lot of them are do good for themselves. You understand what I say?
The hottest forward is
Trevante Stewart, without a doubt.
Yeah?
Yeah, without a doubt. That Trevante Stewart because he must play a good ball and he must score in a double figure swing club.
So what that means? You'd call him for Gold Cup?
At the moment, I would have been my first pick, and when I hear me say Boza, you must know say Boza is playing very poor. But me that have Boza in our squad, but a Trevante Stewart are leading right now for me. Both strength-wise.
So you have Trevante Stewart, you want to bring Boza, want to Mikel Antonio?
No, man. Mikel Antonio have to recover well good, man.
One to the new player named Tyrese Campbell. Because him are going good too, you know.
Tyrese Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Most striker I carry 3.
What about Javan East in Israel?
No, man. I go say something to you now.
Yes, sir.
You see Javan East, them get them fear fair chance of representing the national
All right,
team.
them Tyrese Campbell is more a winger. True still, but yeah.
Yeah, Javon East get them fair chance. We have some younger players coming up now. So we have Warner Brown there. We can't say Warner Brown, you know. Or we can't even say the same Calvin from Cavaliers, you know. Youngster, man. Let me work with them, man. Javon East get them chance, you know, man.
Okay, so if you're going to pick 3 forward for the Gold Cup, who you picking? Trevante Stewart?
Trevante Stewart.
Yeah.
Boza. I'm going to go carry Warner Brown.
And Warner Brown. Okay.
Yeah. The youth when them Calvin probably can fit up on one of them.
So you said if you have a player, right, that has scored whole heap of goals, but him did play whole heap of time before, you are carry a new player because you're going to say that him get him fair chance? Me not understand.
So that again.
So all right. So that again. So you said that Javon is getting fair chances, right?
Yeah.
Boza getting fair chance?
Boza is more lethal than
yeah,
don't be man is man. Man is man. Listen to me. No, we go talk football now.
You don't say you talk. You listen. Yeah, go on.
We don't want to mix up Giovanni with Shamanic status.
We not mix up the status. What I'm saying is that.
All right, but man is man. When Boza, all right, when Boza playing for Jamaica, right? We get something out of, we at least we get 2 or 3 chance out of Boza. If him not finish, him a assist. When Javon is playing for Jamaica, we're not getting anything at all.
Really?
So you're all right. You don't want to call up Javon East right now?
If you're going on farm, you'd have to call him. If you're going on present farm, because you're calling Trevante based on farm. The next man that is in top form is Javon East, but you don't call him.
No, so hold on. If we go to use, all right. If we go to say all of that by playing good, that means we're going to have to call up Jonah Flemings in.
Then if you believe that it's farm, if farm is what you're using, then you have to call the players.
That's farm alone, man, is man.
What
that's
else?
Farm alone.
That's what I remember.
Remember the coach always go with who farm and a coach say, all right, the ball and play a good thing club, but when him come with the country, when I play for the country, he give you where we want.
Okay.
You understand me? As when I say man is man, are we looking for attacking midfielder? Why we can't look for Krista J. Deal them now at the age of 22, 23? When we go to wait till they get 27, then we are trying to force them in.
Okay, so you are saying that on farm right now, Krista J. Daly.
As an attacking midfielder.
As a number 10.
We try retire it, Maggie, them too much now, man.
Okay. All right.
We retire it, Maggie, but he's stealing us.
And what you say about Satchel?
Me either give him a call too. That you remind me so much of Cephas.
Oh, but you're going to bring him as a winger?
Yeah, not as a centre forward, because as
a centre forward? And when
they said not as a centre forward.
No, man, I'm asking you. If you're what position you're calling Satchel to play?
When I wing them man is man. So not call him to play no forward.
So we're gonna do it like players like Kaim Dixon who are play a wing, Leon Bailey. I'm just asking. Leon Bailey, Ronaldo Cephas, Demarai Gray. What you gonna do with all of those wingers?
Man is man. We saying go come in the squad, that don't mean saying go start or
no, but
man you have to come in the squad,
but to come in the squad, Balakar, somebody have to come out of the squad.
Man is man. Something now come out, you know, me to put him as one foot striker, you know.
Who?
Come I know. Oh, this Dixon thing when they talk about wing, you know. A centre forward, he will be playing.
A centre forward, they want Dixon to play. Okay.
When he play in club England, you see him man peel off like defender them as a centre forward and they move up and down. When him play for Jamaica, it's like they're afraid to put the youth as centre forward. Put the youth there, man. Make him doing stuff. You understand? A man is man, tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
If Boza don't get called to the Gold Cup squad, as a Boza fan and Boza my baller, we're not going to feel away. Because Boza don't drop it off later this year.
Okay.
Me never go feel no way. So if him not go a Gold Cup, you know him go get hungry, put in some more work, and then go prove, say yo what him for that. Remember say them the things him always do.
Okay.
You understand? Talk game fair man is man, but even the same number 10, me that try if you carry him with Krista J. Daly, the one from Racing.
Racing, that's Ellis.
Yes, me that he need finishing management.
So you gonna bring a player like that no ball car in the Gold Cup team when they want to go win the Gold Cup, and you gonna tell me say he need finishing.
So we not got one cup. We not got one cup for England.
You'd bring him to like the Unity Cup.
Yes, but I bring him at the cup there.
But don't Daniel Green play as a number 10?
Daniel Green, man, this man, I want to say it to you too, you know.
Say it to me.
You see when that you make the chance and come back at Jamaica. I did want to see him to give him 2 conk in my head because he should not come back at Jamaica. And I don't like them run him where nothing. Yeah. He should have stay and fight management. He's a good player. You understand in the system, in the Jamaica system, but you see, like how the Ellis thing them come about and the youth them kind of outshine them because they're more hungry management. And them things are going to happen to them because them coming at the JPL, get them a put in work, but them lay back too much. And next young youth hungry go come and snatch it away.
Okay.
Just like they snatch it away from Tyreek Magee.
Okay.
And it's such a waste. The next 10 years from this, we go talk about Tyreek Magee just like how we talk about Jeremy, you know, and which is not we're not supposed to happen. You come from the USL, come at Jamaica. How is it that you end up at one of the worst clubs in Jamaica when time a better club did probably want? Go elevate the thing, man, and probably that we that's all right in happy nice for it. You understand what I say, man? Yeah. You go to one club where they play a wing when you're attacking me.
Right. You want asking about Green, seeing that he's a player that I know.
Yeah. Remember some know him good to you know, man.
You know on what circumstances he returned.
Yeah, I hear about it. Whether calling out some coaching and racism thing, something like that.
Daniel Green, do you know that his club was relegated?
So
and so some of his contract arrangements were going to be changed.
Yeah.
Right. And so the better option would have been to return to Jamaica, given what Mount Pleasant was offering him.
Okay. But as when we say no man is one.
Like Cephas, what do you want Cephas to do? Cephas club has been relegated to the third tier.
The third tier, what?
No, Turkish league. Didn't they get relegated from the? Cephas got relegated again, you know.
So me no watch couple match and see them way up in the top, so they relegated.
In the top or what? Remember, Cephas was out for a very, very long time. Injured, and then so when he left, the team was in the top 3 or top 4.
Yeah.
Then he got injured. When he got back from the injury, they were fighting relegation, so they got relegated.
Man, when I check on that every time again.
Because
I write up, just a little bit down and I see so I'm middle so I see them, you know.
But Balakar.
No, Cephas now go stay there, so. See, man, come on, one club go by Cephas. Me you know that, man.
Okay.
Cephas. Me no feel that Cephas can come back to Jamaica anytime now to the way I play football. So maybe just not talk about the father. Me no feel that possible at this point. With the agent that I have, that now go happen. You know. One of the best agent Jamaica ever see. So, but probably next year we don't see Daniel Green in Jamaica, so all of that too. You understand? So.
They avoided relegation. You sure, Marlon? Check it
Man, is
again.
man, I tell us if you look, you know.
Boss, they were 16th.
With how much match leave?
Boss, when I spoke to Cephas, he
Yeah.
said his team has been relegated. If you have other information, that is what the man said, boss. So,
So from
so
I
no,
wonder if he can tell us,
boss, baby, me wrong. They were, I'm telling you, that's what the team was relegated. If you have other information, we can ask him or him tell me madness.
right now, me I go, as me come on 500, me I go pan something there. See, we see them up in the last part of the season. Sure, me see them up in a mid-table right after so. But if I say they're relegated, we can check and find out. But man is man, Mount Pleasant, I love how the way them play football.
So
right
who is
now,
a pick for the final?
Man is man, don't say that man is man. I remember say Mount Pleasant no back, but me want say Cavaliers. I'm Mount Pleasant.
Okay. All right, Balakar. Gonna boss that yell up in the comment section. So me run on
Yeah,
for
man.
the hand
Yeah,
for a
man.
while. Yeah, man.
Big up the whole of them, man. But man is man. We rate the striker with the play for Mount Pleasant too, up top, but he need to finish. So we get something to finish for first.
Yeah.
Yes, anytime he get that twin game like fully, then can't go hold him because he hard working. You understand? Walsh need more working, more running. He need to lose some more weight.
Yeah, man.
So Bradford no come back.
No, he's out for the season.
Judge. So I just see 25 on that. They can use Daniel Green a forward too, you know.
Want to Nicholas Nelson, man?
Yeah, even him can play center forward too. You know, but at times he too selfish, man. If you ever share ball, man.
You know who I think is selfish is Devante Campbell.
No, make him play, man. Man is man. Leave him alone.
So he can be selfish, but Nicholas Nelson not be selfish. Balakar.
No, listen when me I say the man is man. Listen when me I say with Devante Campbell. Listen, I me I talk. You go down the 5 times when you pass. You go down the 5 times when you pass 4. You must can kick one.
All right.
I'm sorry if people
Anyways,
disrespect all of this.
next day we're going to talk about Manchester United. Because we have a big match for
No, we don't need to talk about Manchester. But we just stay in the JP right now. You understand? 26 best defensive midfielder in Ireland. You understand?
Oh, Clifford. And you know, Sam can't make 80 team.
What? 119.
You know, Sam can't make 80 team.
Cause what?
Eh?
Cause what?
Because 80 team too good for him.
Man is man in camp. Man is man in bad man. 119 with more saying name.
Balakar. All right, Balakar. Big up yourself. People, yeah, there you go. That was Balakar. That was a long call. The best CDM in the league. A big quote. Where that speed run gone? You run gone. Without speed. I'd love to get without speed opinion because I was talking to a coach and they're saying to me, Lima is a better CDM than Clifford Thomas. And the reason they give is that Lima passes the ball forward and drives forward. Clifford passes the ball side to side. Is that so? Is that so? What do you say, people? Lima of Mobile United or Clifford Thomas of Mount Pleasant? The battle of the CDMs. Give me a reason why. Pesa. Is it real? Because one person is saying that Lucas Lima. Why you say that coach man? Big up God's boss. I saw God's boss earlier. But what they're saying is a good. They say that both of them tackles win the ball, right? They say all of that, but when it comes on to passing accuracy and passing the ball forward, Lucas Lima edges him out. And Lucas Lima ends up on more goals scored. I don't know how many goals did Lucas Lima score for Mobian this season. Mr. Speedway, God. You say it's a D-license coach. Hey, D-license coach, you tell me that Lima is a better CDM. Call in and explain to the people them. D-license coach. They would be surprised. You all would be surprised of the coach who said this. No, man, this coach way past D-license. Trust me. But Marlon, they are saying that Lima don't lose the ball either, and I'm telling you, you know. Do you see Lima losing the ball? Lima don't really make, to be fair, I believe Clifford, you know, because I was saying Clifford, you know. But when I really look at it, Lucas Lima don't really lose the ball and or make bad passes either, you know. He doesn't, you know. So is it that far apart, or is it just because? I don't know. No, man, is not unseen, man. A coach are bigger than unseen, man. Where the coach? Coach, call in, man. You afraid? See me get a message. Boss. Zaba HD. C for Steve. Got relegated. Confirming. They got relegated, boss. Let's see if we can get a good coach. Let's see if we can get one of the big coach. Yeah. Yeah. See if I can get one of the coach. They got relegated, man. It's a little bit. Inform you want to return. Inform you want to return. It's a little bit that we do. I tell you. I want big coach though. I want big coach though. But I think the finals will be good. I think the way how Cavaliers play, and I think Busy is in fine form. It will be very interesting. All right, so Zaba HD. The league, right? So relegation is not based on the GD, it is based on head-to-head. That is the first thing. All right. This one says, and this is a coach, he said the better CM would have recognized that his teammate needed coverage that lead to Siles scoring. You blame? No, man. That Siles goal is not the CDM fault. Me not blame the CDM for that. No, sir. First thing, that left back made the same mistake the Arnett Gardens defender made in the first leg with Busy. He ended up on the wrong side of Busy. That's how Busy was able to put the ball in the box for the man to head it in. That Arnett game. All right? This Mount Pleasant goal, I can't blame the CDM for that. The other center back, what's his name? Benny, should have been covering. The goalkeeper should have forced him to go up over his head. I can't blame the CDM for that, Coach Braxton Irie. Braxton Irie, I know you're a big coach, you know, respect, you know, I not really challenge your things too, but you have to call in and explain how you blame the CDM for that. The man basically escort the man down there. The ball came across from Devontae because remember, it was a combination play, right? And Devontae Campbell played the ball over there because That is the side that Lima was on. How was he supposed to come back at the next side? Who saying this? No, your man Speed not putting on 10 in box. The farm that busy. Listen, Speed have some good offensive players. One, Busy playing well. Calvin playing well. Think there is injured. Stein. But they also have this guy named Right Guard. Right Guard, very good player. I think like they're a little light in the stadium. I know sometimes they try to bring. All right, so we have a coach coming. Coach, welcome to the show.
Just real quick. Not blaming him in like he's the one supposed to be covering. All right, you see if the ball is on your left, the person on the far right is seeing everything and can give instruction for man to move over. So as you see, CM, whatever you want to call him, he's there now looking onwards. So he could have recognized that his defender, like you said, mid-central defender, not moving across, and give him a little nudge. Hey, move over, because that guy had so much time pass. Understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah, right. The defender, right? I understand. But what I'm saying though is that how your coach,
I understand you, man. But you see, when a player, okay, like a forward at the top, he's looking onwards when a play is taking places in his area, right? So he can identify who's out of position sometimes. Sometimes a man ball watching, sometimes, you know.
Right.
So you can give a little verbal instruction because you're seeing the whole play now. So things like that make a big difference. Some little things there. You understand? So yes, that player is moving across, going for the ball, Celestia, whatever it is, and everybody just stand up in the middle. Nobody even move across to give him coverage. When a man is going to pressure a ball, you need pressure,
cover and
coverage.
Yeah.
Yes, PCB, right?
Yeah.
So every time, anywhere on the field. So if you are the central midfielder now, and you recognize that, you have to give some instruction, man.
True.
You understand?
I understand.
Probably you don't understand.
No, man, totally.
So
little
things like that. It happened too often, like you pointed out. So no instruction, no verbal instruction. So what, man? Ball watching. So you have them delay their work, cast you.
Yeah. Which is what happened on
so
the
better CVM, like you said, no. Look at that quick reaction, goal saving from the Mount Pleasant midfield or whatever it is.
Yeah.
See the game and react. You understand? So it's not speed of play such as you sprinting, but your reaction time in your mind.
Yeah, I agree.
Difference.
What I agree with you is that the coverage on that is almost and your approach, you know that sometimes what happens when the forward is in the position that they are, everybody's looking, is playing for the cutback. So it's almost like even the defender's approach was so poor. Because
I agree.
He got flat-footed thinking the player is going to play the ball back to the top of the box. By the time he was supposed to, he figured out anything, the man was already past him. And so there was
that's why you need coverage. You need coverage because you have some tricky strikers, you know. So yes, you expect a defender one-on-one to do his job, but a man can make mistake. But one mistake shouldn't be, lead up to another one and then another one. So you can see the domino effect. Too many mistakes that led to that goal.
Yeah. All right, my boss. Yeah, man, just give me a quick one. I know you have to run, but give me a quick one. What are your keys?
My keys?
Yeah.
I can't say much because more on speed win.
Oh yeah, Portland man. The Portland man.
No man, remember say me that center most of my time too, because my ref and do all of them things that right at Draxal of a majority of my time too, Play whole heap of ball at Draxal myself too, So both of them are my team, but more on Mount Pleasant.
You want Mount Pleasant win? Oh, you want Mount Pleasant for dead?
Yeah.
All right, nobody give me the key.
I know Mount Pleasant do some things that lead up like them I use, what you call it now. I don't really know the man them, but the left side them have Bailey and
Sully McCall on the right.
first one there. No man, Bailey
and Devontae Campbell.
and the left. Yeah, them have a good combination. So Speed must be aware of that. If they move out Bailey, they're gonna come with
Gadiel Irwin.
Irwin. So them have to just know different style of play lead to different things. On the right side, they might invert
McCullough. Yeah.
Yeah. And last year, you know, say the coach them from Mount Pleasant realize that them make the falter with because you just put the fast man right there, so you utilize that space there. But them also leading up to this where you fast game them play or something like when them play more lines.
Yeah.
Instead of using McCullough, them use I think the same left footer Irwin or whatever and invert him and then they make some quick sprint down when the right winger come deep. Him just gone up there, take the right wingers. So Speed must be wary of all of them little options there. So based on personal, him can counter that. Simple thing and just lick off them head.
Okay.
All right, my boss.
Yeah, man. All right.
My boss. We don't say you're a Mount Pleasant man.
Yeah.
No? Yeah, man. Do your thing. Blessings here.
Big up, coach every time.
Yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah. All right. All right, people. Remember, you can call in. You know, NBA Western Conference Final begins tonight. Good game. Timberwolves versus what? OKC tomorrow. New York Knicks up against Indiana Pacers Eastern Conference. Today, Manchester City won their game, so they are in third place now. Yeah, you understand me? And Crystal Palace, good form continues as they won. All right, but people, this is big no. 100 of you, hit the like button because I have a very, very special, I almost say special. You understand me? Guess who is going to be joining me. We're going to have a very good discussion. You're going to love this, right? So if you know a youngster who you know, probably don't have the ideal circumstances, you need to hear this story. All right. And I'm not just saying that because this is a man in school, past student, but just his story alone has impacted so many in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, in the US, in Canada. All right. And it's only getting bigger. And you get the opportunity this evening to meet him and to hear from him. All right. Big time entrepreneur who has won some big awards from humble beginnings to elevated status in life because of hard work and diligence. And I think it's such a good way to segue into all of this. So without any further ado, I'm going to welcome one of my seniors from school, Mr. Garold Hamilton.
Yes, sir. It's about time.
I'll tell you. Yes,
yeah, man. The time is now. Nothing is done before the time. You know what I mean? I think one of the things that I always talking about is accepting fate over fear and just waiting on until the right time to get things done, because you know there's nothing like the right time. I think, you know, for now, I think everything kind of you know, for me, with respect to having my second book released, which is really surreal. I'm to even be a first time author. Just to think about actually being a second time author is something that I never even imagined in my wildest dream could happen.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, I always talk about. So, you know, as I get to youth, there's always the naysayers and the people who are, you know, who are challenging you. And I always call it the naysayers are people who are challenging you to show them that you can do what they say that, you know, you can't do. So those are some of the stuff. I remember having a conversation at high school in third form because I used to love play football, and I went and play football. And Miss English class and Miss Beverly tell me, said, "You boy, you're not gonna pass English, you know," because I missed the class. But you know, I did pass it anyway But this is the same story because I wanted to challenge her words as well. That's something that spurred me and really, really helped me to really forge that path and really making sure that although I was always technical, I was always a maths brain, but I never eased up on the English because I thought it was my Achilles, so I worked extremely hard at it. So those are some of the stuff that I do in life in terms of the stuff that you're not good at or not great at. Those are the stuff that you should make sure that you take under your wings and make sure that you work extremely hard just to make sure that you're filling that gap and forging forward.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
failure is
Absolutely.
never an option.
Yeah. Never an option. Awesome. It's a lot of people. I mean, they probably have seen the books, they probably have seen articles and heard you on other platforms. But for those who don't know Garold
Yes.
Hamilton and just the humble beginnings,
Yes.
and when we say Charlene, we're not talking about some place where there's some Charlene temple. It's just it's just a community in
Yeah.
in Sav, which is in
Yes.
Westmoreland,
Yes.
where your early origins are, the Manning
Yes.
School University and all of that,
Yeah.
which is in the first book. So you
Yes.
just can, yeah, right. So
So
just, yeah, go ahead and
so
just tell them a little bit about the early beginnings. Yeah.
and to be honest, it's in the second book also because I always try to start from somewhere and really showcase where I'm from as the start point of where you want to go. It's always say that you have to look from where you're coming from to know where you're going. So Charlene, in Westmoreland, I always call it's a community nested between two cemetery. So, Darley
Yeah.
Cemetery, it is really right between, two cemeteries. So if 135 Darling Street, the Tate Cemetery is on one side and Doyle is on the other side. And Honeygun is right down the road. So it's cemetery all around surrounding the community. That's where I was born. I spent most of my life there. Went to Mannings, from that community, the same where. So I didn't really leave that community until I leave and go to University of the West Indies. So, people know, who don't know, like if you're not from Westmoreland, maybe you wouldn't know Charlene, but it still is a ghettoized community. There's still a lot of challenges in that community in which, I try to help. I'm in that community. I do a lot of community work there as well. A lot of back to school and try to empower the community as well. But there's those challenges are sometimes deep seated and sometimes it's hard to really unravel and really figure out how to move some of those folks forward. But there are several successes from that community,
Yeah.
and people who have done extremely well and have made a life for themselves and
And some of those have come through your foundation as well. Because, yeah.
absolutely. I remember when I was actually going to Mannings, there was only one person, Amoy, and there was a lady that was the only person that I saw from my community that ever gone to Manning School. So it wasn't something that's a commonplace. So even going to Manning School must just actually going to university. So that's always something that wasn't something that we could see or having somebody that we could model, our life or path of. It's really something that wasn't, was an enchanted territory. So me actually getting, pushing there and getting the opportunity. And I talk about it. One of the turning point in my life was, I'm passionate about football, man, Senate, D Cup and captain for the Dakar Cup team. I
Yeah.
was passionate about sports. So it's not only academics. I captained the table tennis team. I was actually unbeaten in my 4 years of playing table tennis, in school competition.
National
Never,
school.
never lose a game. And captain for the team, I was part of the victorious chess team that we were national champion twice.
Yeah.
So and captain for the football team. I remember Miss Wagstaff called me in her office when I was in sixth form one day and said to me, say, Garold, we'll have to talk about putting down some of the sports in order to do your A levels, because I don't think that's possible that you can balance
Yeah,
all
for,
of it.
for those are the people who don't know what A levels are, I think they have been
Well,
replaced by Cape level 1 and level
Cape,
2. So,
yes,
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 by
yes.
replaced by Cape now. So
So
that's
you
the
have O levels,
the
ordinary levels, A levels,
yes,
advanced levels. So just
yes.
to
So
help some of the
so
younger
that's
folks.
where So
Yeah.
at doing Cape and managing so much sports was, it's a challenge in itself. But I was kind of determined that I want to do it all, and that's something that I think that really transcend even into my life today. I think there is no halfway I'm doing or half ass in something, as they say. I want to make sure that if I'm doing something, I'm going to give it my 150%, no matter what it is. I call it integration. I don't call it balance, because balance meaning that basically you're doing half and trying to balance something.
You're
So I
right.
said,
I like that.
when
Integration.
integration,
Integration.
when you integration, yeah, man, that's something that I kind of coin and use a whole lot. But I remember finishing high school, finishing my keep and got the grades to go to the University of the West Indies. Um, but I didn't know how I was gonna. I never had a conversation with my mother of how I was gonna pay for university, how she was gonna pay for university. She didn't have a job, so she used to do shop. She has a shop. She sell bug juice. I used to sell bug juice down the market, and helping her. Same, I used to sell bug juice, box drinks, on Fridays. Sometimes stop from school, so it was always a struggle for me, and always a way that me and my brothers and siblings. My siblings have three brothers, on my mother's side, and a sister, and we used to try to do everything to help her because at the time my father had an accident when I was 10 years old. Humphrey used to work at
Yeah.
my high school and used to sell ice cream. He had an accident and he'd never worked, from then. He couldn't, function, to his full capacity. So that was a challenge. So my mom was forced to really take the lead and really trying to lead a family of four, which was challenging in itself. So I didn't want to put any pressure on her. So I didn't even ask her to say, hey, mom, how are you going to pay for university? Because I don't think that was even possible. I remember saying that I'm going to sit out the year. We never have a discussion. I never talked to my mom about that. But what I did, I remember going over mornings because at the time D Cup was playing. I remember I went to a D Cup match. This is in September. And when I went back home the evening, my mother said to me, say, so son, you're not going to university.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I said, but mom, we don't have no money for go university. So how are we going to go university? She said, son, where there's a will, there's a way. She said, this
Yeah.
is what we're going to do. There's student loan and all those stuff that we can take advantage of, which is at the time I knew about it, but I always say, I'm not gonna have any guarantor, all the persons that, that at the time you have to have somebody that signed for you, two
That
persons
you're
at
yeah,
least.
two
And those
persons.
persons have to have a lot of good credentials. They have to
Yeah.
have a job and all different type of stuff that show that they can pay back that money. So I remember when I came back and my mom said to me, you know what? I already pack your bag because you're going to university. We're gonna figure this out. So the next morning, it's not like I waited a week. The next morning, we were on a bus going to Kingston, going up to UA.
Yeah.
That the time was already late, but
Yeah, because school had have started.
started
Because it was in
already.
September, yes.
Yeah, man. So you know what? The thing about it also, I didn't actually tell her that I deferred my place because I didn't want
Oh,
to lose my space. I deferred it to the next year.
yeah. Right, right.
But I didn't even have that conversation with our Senate because I was kind of scared because I did it on my own without getting any guidance and counsel from her. So
Yes.
me, Fred, say boy, at them time there, say my mother have a mean right hand like George Foreman and me still afraid say boy, yo, me gonna get beaten. So me not, it doesn't matter what it is. So we went up there and I remember we went straight on campus and straight to administration, did the checks, and the registrar said to her, to her that um Mrs. Mackenzie, your son had deferred, his
Right.
place, so there's no place for him, you know in natural science at the time, because my thought what I was actually going in what you call N2 of natural science, to do medicine. That was my plan. um and you know the man said, well, the only thing we can do, we can put you on the waiting list, and we can
Yes.
figure out and see if if there's
Help
a
you.
in
A
the
fit.
coming
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah. So I remember we were staying in Spanish Town. You know, that's where the closest our family was that have enough room to host us during that. So I remember take a bus, go back to Spanish Town, and every morning I remember my mother just wake up in the morning and she went to the university, and I was still in my bed. I really just I watched TV. I just thought that, hey, this is, I don't think I have a chance. So I'm like, I gave up, to be honest. I'm like, yo, mom, have time. She went up there every day for about 2 weeks. She just wake up in the morning, make breakfast for everybody, and for the household, because it's funny, because that house, she was actually a living helper for my some of my cousins in the same house in Spanish Town. So
Oh,
so that's why
you were
we
able to
actually
go
went
back
there.
there. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
to go back there. So she went up there every day, and sometime I had an aunt that was at the nurse at the UA. Sometimes she grab her just to get some like extra enforcement, because she was actually the matron, one of the matrons. So the matron would go on them, and them would go on them beg, and them go to the dean, them get the name of the dean, then go talk to the dean office. So them go on and beg everybody. And in 2 weeks, I remember she called me one afternoon, and she said, Garold, you need to come now, you need to come now. You get through. And I'm like, what? Me not to show up, just put on my clothes, and
Up to
and
you.
data I've go down there. When I went there, I remember it was a professor called Matt Morris. He was the dean at the time, and the man said to me, say him, I didn't have to come in. The man said him send call me. The man said, I called you because I wanted to let you know that I didn't make this decision for you.
Yes.
I did it for your mother. She wanted this more than you wanted it. I've never seen you after I seen you on the first date.
Whoa.
The man said to me, said, listen, only two persons were able to actually get through. There was a girl called Simone Nels. I can't forget her. She's a doctor now. And her stepfather was the warden at Taylor Hall. And me. So the man showed me, and when you read through and decipher exactly what he's saying to me, the person who get through have connections.
Yeah.
You, the only thing you had was
Is your
your
mother.
mother that never give up on you. And I want to make sure that I'm warning you. If you ever feel, I will personally deal with you myself. That's what the man said to me.
Whoa.
It was
Whoa.
a threat from
The
the
dean.
dean of natural science. That's how deep it was. And at that point, I realized a couple of things. So at that point, I realized that I have a superpower, and my superpower was my mother.
Yes.
And I always realized that that woman never give up on me, even when I give up on myself. And that's it's shown, and it really just give me that what I call grit in my book, in terms of like, what, I have to dig deeper, even when the answer is no. You know what I mean? Even when you're back against the wall. That's
Yeah.
when, people like us who are from the ghetto, who rise from the ghetto, who have resilience, that's when we're stronger. That's when we are the strongest. And that's something that at that point, I realized that, I talk about it, that failure was not an option, because at that point, I realized that I wasn't doing it for myself. I realized that I was doing it for my mother. But in connection also, I was doing it for my family, because I was the first one
Want to go. Yes.
to go to university. And so it's just like, I was leading the pack. So therefore there's no way
And
that
one
I
from
can
the
basically
youth
feel.
from the community
Yeah,
at that time.
man. Exactly. So you know what I mean? So that's one of the major lesson, like in terms of, I went into the university about 3 weeks late, almost 4 weeks. When I went to natural science, they called me. I went on Canada, on Chancellor Hall. So I was a lion. I was on block A. My name on block A was triple bunk. And I tell you the reason why. The maximum amount of people that's supposed to be in a dorm room is two. Because I was a baller. I was a footballer.
Yes,
Them
you
them
get
want a footballer, so what them do? The man them put a extra sponge in I two upon the floor. Me sleep for about 2 weeks before them convince a senior who have a single room for give me for room with a senior for the rest of the year.
whoa.
So the ads ad was stuck in every way. Me late for absolutely everything when it comes to that. But
Whoa.
that didn't stop me from achieving and gaining, you know what I mean, what I need.
Graduated with honors.
Honors. Graduated with honors and just, man, I tell you, the thing about
I
it,
mean, at the end of it, what was the feeling you like with your mom to like to be at that graduation and knowing
but
the
but
journey and
but I should tell you something, Stan. You wouldn't believe it because I even talking about, that I actually went to London after I finished because I left. I spent 1 year in Mona and transferred to engineering and did engineering, did civil engineering. And then I actually migrated to England during that summer after finishing. When
oh,
it was
that's the first
time,
year of engineering.
yes,
Yes, okay.
when it was time for me to graduate, I never have a job in England. I couldn't afford to
To
buy a
come back.
plane ticket to come back. I didn't even graduate. I actually got my degree sent to me. I wasn't able to march. That's something that I didn't experience until I did my masters in London, where at South
Yes,
Bank, where I was able to do that. So what I mean. It was kind of it's funny. Like it would be a great moment. My daughter actually just graduated from Howard
right.
last
That's
week.
what those. Yes,
You know what I mean? And to be honest, me sitting down there, like I couldn't be more prouder. You know
yes,
what I mean? Just the achievements and not only that, it's because of the type of she was summa cum laude, meaning she the top 1%,
yes,
of our class. And that in itself is a is achievement in itself, but just to see that. And my mom was there as well.
right.
So her
Right,
grandmother was
right.
there, and proud as you can. So it's she planting the seed and able to actually watch the seed of the seed grow as well, which
So,
is extraordinary and a huge blessing, in itself.
and a
So
lot of this is in the first book, right? All
yes,
right.
a lot
So
of this is in the first
for
book.
those who don't know, just tell them the name of the book
So
because
the
I don't.
Ghetto Youth's Bible, Ghetto
All right.
Youth's Bible, and what it is, and a lot of people.
How did you come
um
up with the name? Ghetto Youth.
so
Why is it the Ghetto Youth's Bible?
so this is what it is. I I actually was playing around one day, and just I basically was making some videos, some live videos, and I was actually talking about residual income and convincing ghetto youth that they can't just, when you get money, you can't just basically spend it out and don't really think about, the future, and talking about residual income and investing it right. And after doing that first video, somebody called me. It was like a 4-minute video. Somebody called me and said to me, "Man, Mr. Hamilton, that's the realest 4 minute I've ever watched in my life." And I was just basically just saying, just trying this Facebook Live for the first time I went on it. And that person and that feedback that I got, because it got it the views run up.
It
I
ran.
got like 3,000 views. And
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, people really wanted to hear, these positive affirmation and lessons that they can, hold on to. So I said, okay, if that's the case, I am gonna coin this as what I call the Ghetto Youth Bible series.
Right.
Because I'm saying, you know what, I am gonna say this is something that I want to have an impact on the ghetto, and something that I always think that people always kind of look and look down on you, that like ghetto is a death sentence. So that's something that I always struggle with. So it's something that I want to actually prove to people that, you know what, being born in the ghetto does not determine your outcome. So doing
Absolutely.
doing the 10 series, and the 10 series actually was actually what I coined as the 10 commandments of Ghetto Youth's Bible, and that's in the book. It's talk
Right.
about
Right.
mentorship, and I actually written it like, thou shalt have a mentor. Thou shalt, that's exactly who thou
Right,
shalt
right.
have a
Yes.
role model. Thou shalt, you know, invest in continuous learning. And, thou shalt be a CEO of your own life. Thou shalt pay it forward, which is, giving back to your community. Those are some of the stuff that I coined in it. But it's really to inspire. And the reason, I'm spiritual. It's something
Yes.
that I think that, to be honest, I I don't question, my gift. God gave me a gift.
Yeah.
um I there's no other way that I can explain how anything that I touch or anything that I try, my academic achievement, anything that it's it's beyond my own understanding. So nothing but the Lord gave me a gift and say, yo, make use of that
Yeah.
gift. And that's exactly what it is. So and also to say that the gift was also to understand that, hey, when you're given that gift, there's also a purpose associated with it.
Is it?
And the
Absolutely.
purpose that associated with it is that you absolutely have to pass that gift on and use that gift also for the good of the people. And that's why I give back. That's the reason why I have a nonprofit organization called DTR Foundation. Those are some of the stuff that I continue to do. And that's why I shouldn't, like, most of the book is 100% donated to my charity. A lot of people, like, even
Right. Right.
100%. It's a 50 or 501c3 nonprofit here in the US. It's not registered in Jamaica, and I need to get it registered in Jamaica. But
Yeah, but because
that's
by this time, though you were into natural science in your first year, you did engineering. You're more into finance and investments and equity management, all of those.
yeah.
I mean, so many segues. I'm wondering, like, natural
Yes.
science, medicine to managing money. I wonder what prescriptions and injections and products and all
Yeah,
of those
but
things are going on there with all of these transitions. What happened?
yes, but
You know?
this is the situation. One of the things that I always I'm always you know I'm always bullish about is that I don't want you to put me in a box. And anything that I want to learn, I can actually learn it by just basically immersing myself, reading, researching, and doing. That's exactly that's my mindset. And it's funny. I had a conversation with a guy. I walked out, and I'm playing football on Sunday, and I said to him, and I showed him my book, and he said, "Book." Man said, "You write a book? Like, where do you find time? How do you get inspired to do something like that? That makes no
Yeah,
sense to me." And I said to him, said, "No, man, I think you can do it, man." I said, everybody has a story. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Everybody does. And I'm sure you have struggles. And I'm sure, there's ways that, you can, even your existing situation is not your outcome. It's not your end. So I think that, you too. And he was like, "I don't think so." And this is the funny thing. About 15 minutes later, we were congregated after, this is after the game. He walked down to another section, and he was talking to some other people, and um somebody said to him, said, "Boy, so Redman, gonna write a book too." And him said to and his answer was, "Next 5 years."
yes,
And I call it out. I said to him, I said, "Remember 15 minutes ago, you would never even think about writing a book."
yeah.
And I have a 1 minute or 2 minute conversation with you, and immediately your frame of mind completely changed.
Change. Yes.
That the impossible became possible. So it shows that reinforcement and what you feed into people, and what and positive thoughts, and affirmation, and telling people, accepting faith over fear, can
Yeah.
actually push people to actually think and believe much more, in achieving what they
Believing that
what they think.
impossible is possible. Believing that you can. Believing that you can do all
Exactly.
things through Christ who strengthens you. That is it. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things that, and even both books, that's what both of the books is about. It's really about, and the it's intertwined. So with my entrepreneurship and stuff, this is where Grit to Glory, and I
Which is
and
the
I show
second
you
book, right?
and I
Yes.
show you this one, because I'm actually in DC now. So I don't the next copy. I have next copy, and this book also have some illustration in it
Which is
where
Great to Glory is now the second book.
the second
Right.
book,
Right. Yeah.
and it's called My Rise from the Ghetto to Corporate Leadership and Success, and it's actually forwarded by the Professor Denzel Williams, the principal of the University of the West Indies. So
Ah.
yes,
Ah.
so
Ah.
you should know Denzel actually forwards both books as
Oh.
well.
Yes. 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 I know the first in the first
Yeah.
one. Yes. Yes.
So I want to. There's a style of writing that I have, that every book that I write, I have a poem in it, right?
Yes.
So I want to just display my poetic skills, and this one is called From Grit to Glory: The Rise of Charlene's Son. In
I like
short,
that.
in Charlene's shadows, where the sun fought through the haze, barefoot dreams wandered down unpaved ways. Concrete crack beneath hopes yet untold, but even in the dust, a warrior heart's turned gold. Zinc roofs hum songs of rain and strife, each drop a lesson in the school of life. Mama voiced, strong like a steel in the storm. Boy, you were built to rise, not to conform. Hunger was more than an ache in my chest. It was a fuel, a whisper. Be your very best. No silver spoons, only callous hands. Yet I carved vision like footprints in the sand. Rejected once, that's the universal stuff I'm talking about. But
Yes.
my story was rewritten. Mama knocked doors until they took note. She was my superpower, my fire, my fight. Her love lit torches through the darkest night. Brick by brick, I built my climb, from Shawlin's grit to towers that shine, from corners where boys dream and stall, to boardrooms where my voice echoes tall. Now I speak where giants lean to hear. Global stages is where I stand without fear. No longer confined to the street without a story, I wear my scars as medal of glory. From the ghetto's grip to corporate reign, through storms of doubt and rivers of pain, each step, each fall, a chapter, a song, proof that the place where you start isn't where you belong. So let them know this truth, bold and free, that greatness was always rooted in me. From grit to glory, I've broken the mold, a Charlene son, now leading the world.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. I love that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
That
So
is
yeah,
awesome.
man.
It's
Yeah, man. So
awesome.
that
I
really.
like that. I like that. I like that. I wonder when the people from Charlotte hear that what they
Oh
do.
man. Oh man. That's the thing, man. I want the youths them to get inspired by those stuff, man, and know that,
Yes,
what I mean.
that is
Where you
powerful,
start
though.
is not where
Yeah,
where you belong, man.
I like that whole thing about conformity.
Yes,
Like
man.
you don't have to conform. It
No,
just
no.
conformity just destroy innovation, man.
Yeah,
If
man.
you
Absolutely.
can't just conform, you have to just, like I said, break the mold. You understand?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely. And
raindrops, the zinc and the stuff. It's yeah. Oftentimes tell people, like I was even saying it earlier, that poverty is never an excuse. It's never an excuse, because
no.
in the said community that you say you can't come out of, there
Yep.
is a Garold Hamilton, there is a
Yep.
Omar Stennett, and so many others
Yep.
who lived in that same place, saw the
Yep.
same things, but made different choices. And I
Yep.
always tell them that, I think it is John Maxwell that says we are sum total of our choices and decisions. We
Yes.
are, yeah. And so if you want to change your decisions, you have to
Yep.
change the information,
Absolutely.
right? And
Absolutely.
and, and that is your mind. Like you
Yep.
say, you can learn anything. You can learn
Yep.
something new. You can move from natural science to engineering to
Engineering to it's one of the things that you will learn also is that many engineers actually are become finance folks. A lot of the consultants, the financial houses and stuff, most of them actually hire engineers after they do an MBA. They hire them, so it's actually a natural transition. So because
Yeah.
of their technical ability and their
Right.
analytic skills, so that's one of the things that with respect to private equity. So I'm in that space with equity, who owns Dollar Financial, and and also Royal Medical in Savlamar. So there's a whole lot
Yeah.
of stuff that we're that M24 Investments. There's MD Link, which is a, a, um, a telemedicine portal, and some labs. There's Cardinal Development, which is a real estate development company as well. So there's multiple, different, type of companies that we part
But the
own.
company itself is D equity.
Dequity, yeah, Dequity. It's
Equity.
pronounced
Equity. Yeah.
Dequity. It's like,
Yeah.
D in front of equity.
Equity.
So it's like debt and equity they put together formed
Yeah.
equity. Yeah. So, and also, not only that, I'm also, 25%
You got an
ownership.
hold on before you get to that part. But you also
Yes.
won an award for some tell us about that. That was what, last year.
Last year,
Last
Entrepreneur of the
year.
Year.
Entrepreneur. Right. You won that. Tell us you're leaving out the good stuff.
So, yes. So, that was, to be honest, surprising, in itself. But Philadelphia, there was a young Caribbean professional association in Philadelphia gave me that award last year, and actually there's many Kings. Dr. Kings the Chin actually got that award a number of years
Oh,
ago. There's a number of prominent Jamaicans actually who got that award as well. So having followed in that path and that
yeah.
footstep is something that was very rewarding for me in itself. Because not only that's something that I prove, and I mention it also in my book. Also, you shall, thou shall, encourage a entrepreneurial spirit. So one of the things that I talk about is that not because you do a 9 to 5 job, or I don't call it 9 to 5 because whatever, not because you have a day job or you're working for somebody, that doesn't mean you can't be an entrepreneur. um, Sometimes your entrepreneur journey starts with that because you have to gain some capital. You have to find some way to put together some capital. So working may give you that and give you you know the start point to invest. And that's how I do it. That's how I invest in real estate. That's how I do a private equity. That's, I have rental properties and stuff also. That's part of my investment house that I do. um I don't know if you're still there. I think are you still there? I think I lost Senate for a little while there. See if Senate come back. I'm still on talking about my book. And it's funny, I wanted to share an introduction. Let's wait until Senate comes back.
Hello. Hello.
You're back, man.
I'm telling you, I got a power cut. Oh, my
Oh
Lord.
no.
I just sent you a message. I'm so sorry. All
No.
right. So, we're back, people. But let me just read this because Max City, you are the reason for this, you know. I was just about to put up Max City's comment, and the thing just went up. So Max City says, this is an inspirational story. I hope he not only gives that money, but also other schools in Jamaica. Our youth, boys and girls, need to hear this story. All right.
Oh
So, and first, I know you were speaking about the award that you won, but
yeah.
I know that you also
Yes.
um, it's not a Manning's. It's never been the Manning's way to be Manning's only.
No.
It's just that we
Never.
are Manning's first. All right.
Never.
So it's
Never.
just that we are Manning's first, all right?
Yes.
But we're
Yes.
not
Yes.
Manning's only. So know that
Yes.
I'll be that. But go ahead and let you know because I know that there are other schools that have told me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the wider Westmoreland community actually so I started my charity foundation to do the
That is the
Westmoreland on this.
DTR Foundation.
Yeah, the DTR Foundation. And if you want to hear, it's www.dtrfoundation.org, for more information. But I started doing the Westmoreland Under 17 football competition. That's how I actually started it until I sponsor a lot of the under 13, under 15 and go all the way up. So it's always an all-inclusive thing that's really spread throughout the community, and even at times we had adjacent parishes. Monroe played a couple of times in the tournament as well. So, but it's always with respect to there's Godfrey Stewart, who I do a lot of stuff with. I actually am their guest speaker at their 60th anniversary as well. I did a tablet drive where I gave away
Right.
1124 tablets um, all over Jamaica and even in Portland. I actually went to Portland and actually gave 120 tablets to a few schools there as well in Hanover, as well as St. Elizabeth. So, we're
Stuff at
and
St.
Montego
Jago.
Bay, and Montego Bay as well, St. James.
And St. Jago, I know that there's someone from St. Jago said who have,
Yeah.
privately said to me that you have done some stuff where
So,
St. Jago is concerned.
but
Yeah.
yeah, man. But this is the situation how I see things also. I don't really put school in front a need of anyone, and I'm supporting the KC guys and the Calabar people can tell you that they're fundraising every year. I'm always there and always supporting them on their the foundation. So like my charge is really just supporting my own and our own because I think we need it. And I always say if I can multiply myself and hope that people I can influence somehow people to do the same. That's winning, and that's how I can actually make my mark because we need it. And to be honest, one of the most, for me, the most powerful thing and the most fulfilling thing that I do is mentorship. And these are youths and kids that I take up. My brethren, I introduced a guy that actually going to UA that I actually just met maybe 6 months ago, and he was going through some challenges and stuff, and me fight like I might pitney to make him stay in a university. Trust me. And me make the whole of the call him. I'll then help me. I'll make him do exam, all different stuff and everything. But me introduce him to someone origin him the other day, and then man I said, boy, I want my you pick me that G because
Really.
them know exactly how I am when it comes to those stuff because I know that I was able to soar because I was given help. I was able to succeed because somebody
There
actually
are
look
other
out for
people
me.
there. Yeah.
So
And
that's
that's why I like the first book because like those 10 commandments you have,
yeah,
thou shall have a mentor, that kind of
yeah,
a stuff, being the CEO of your own life.
yeah,
And because I think one of the things that outside of material resources that we give to people, it is that sort of leadership and life coaches that our young people want in particular. The truth is we will never be able to save anyone,
yeah,
but there'll be some hit, some misses,
yeah,
but that should not stop us from being positive influences and mentors, which goes a little bit deeper than just influencing, because influence can be every now and then and you give a speech here, but it actually, playing a role in people's life on a day to day basis, to know that there's someone I can call who will give me wisdom and direction in my decision making, someone who would, like you said, give me a reason to continue to believe in, continue to
Yeah.
fight, continue to work hard, continue to trust the process when it seems like there is no product.
Yeah.
Know that there is still a process that I
So
can continue in. Yeah.
absolutely, I can give you a story because one of the things also is lack of mentorship in terms of going through different processes, especially if you never experienced it, you don't have anybody to guide you. This is a situation in which I met this kid, and I'm telling you, not no name, but he was supposed to get a scholarship, and he thought he got a scholarship. He went to UA. He was doing pre-engineering, and halfway through the year, they told him he didn't have a scholarship.
Whoa.
So his school fees wasn't paid. His tuition wasn't paid. So, you know, I was just introduced to him by his it's not even his real aunt, his adopted aunt who, his father died, and mother don't really have much. So but he wanted to, she was even saying, yo, I tell him to the community college, I go work or do have part-time on, you know, but is a footballer too. A youth where,
Yeah.
good footballer. You my play he play Premier League. That's how talented he is. So um he when he said to me, and I didn't know, I wasn't aware, the idea is that his adopted aunt introduced him was just to give him some mentorship as a young aspiring engineer. And when I found out, he tell me what's going on, would not be able to to pay tuition, and I'm like, okay, let me see if I could help. So I reach out because I have contacts at UA in engineering. A lot of my friends who are who I graduated with are lecturers and professors there. And so I reached out and said, hey, can you find a way to see if we can get back the scholarship or figure a way how to help this kid? That couldn't happen. That wasn't possible. But the challenge is that it was at the exam time. So in UA, if you don't pay your tuition fee, you cannot get
Sit the
accepted
exam.
into the exam.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, there's no way. Like you have to pay 80%. And these are stuff that I found. You have to pay 80% of the fee before they accept you into the exam. So I
Wow.
remember I was in a meeting one day because I was talking to different people to help him. So I'm thinking, we're trying to explore different things. They said, yo, tell him to get a student loan. I asked him, I said, have you ever tried to get a student loan? He said, no. And I'm like, but you have to try that. You know what I mean? So, but he didn't know how to get it. He didn't know if he will get
Yeah.
approved because it was pre-engineering and not actual engineering. There's some roadblocks
Right.
associated with
Right.
it. So all sort of stuff. But fast forward, you know, he studied and everything and walked and tried to go into the exam. They didn't ask, they said he can't get in. And he called me, and I remember I was in a board meeting in St. Louis. And when he called, I could hear his voice that it was giving up. It was just like the world is coming to an end. He's ready. And I'm like, man, I have to help. I walked out the board meeting and said, give me a few. And I called the dean of engineering, and I said to him, listen, I'm gonna ask you for one. I'm gonna ask you for a favor. This is the same kid I talked to you about. They're not allowing him to get into the exam. And he said, all right, I'm gonna call and see if I could have them waive it. So, I call him back and tell him to go to the exam, go to the door.
Yeah.
I said, go to the door and just wait until I get a call back from Adrian, to confirm. And when the confirmation came, I told him, and he went in. The lady, actually, it's funny. One of the guys said, no, no, he can't come in. And there's a lady that he went to, and I said, give the lady the phone, and I'll talk to her. So I called the lady, and the lady said to me, hey, have him call this person. So she gave me the name of person. I called back the dean and said, the dean, yeah, can you call this person? And the call was made. And when I called back my, my mentee, I couldn't hear him. So I assumed if he didn't
He was
answer,
he was in
he's
the
in,
exam.
he was in the exam. He was
Yeah.
late, but he actually got straight A's.
Wow.
He got straight A's. And I tell you, said, it's funny. That kid is. I told him. I said, I remember. So that was the first semester. He had the same problem second semester because he have to pay the fees again. So all different type of challenges.
Yes,
And
yes.
I remember he called me. He tried to get the student loan, and they tell him that he wasn't eligible for it. He called me one morning and he said, "Mr. Hamilton, you know that I think I'm just gonna take the year out and just play football and just come back another time, the next time. I don't, maybe next year." I said to him, said, "No, that's not gonna happen." I said, "Whatever it is I need to do, I'm gonna do it. That's not gonna happen." And talk him through the process. We fight through the process of the loans and stuff and everything. Eventually get him approved. It wasn't approved to 100%. They only did part, but whatever things we need to do, we did it.
You do it, yeah. And
And
and, and
based,
that's so critical, Garold, because like I said, that a lot of times it is just having that one person in
yes,
your corner that is there, especially when you hit the roadblocks.
yes,
Because sometimes, as long as people can be making progress along the journey, they will
yes,
keep on fighting. But when they
yes,
hit that roadblock and they seem like there's
yes,
no place to go,
yes,
and all my options they believe
yes,
are all shut down,
yes.
and they get to the point of giving up, that's when the mentor becomes important. The
No,
right coach
absolutely,
that says,
absolutely.
all right, no, we can make this work.
Yeah,
And then you help them in solving the issue.
yes,
And just if they can just fight for an
yes,
next year, they
yeah,
believe a little more. And
absolutely.
so many young girls, so many young men in
Yeah,
so many communities like
yeah,
George's Plain and
yes,
Charlene or Whitehall
yeah,
Avenue or
yeah,
in Dunkirk, wherever it is,
yeah,
in Russia,
yes,
wherever it is, up in Grangeville or in
yeah,
Stratforgay or
yeah,
in Flanker in Montego Bay,
yeah.
wherever it is, that's what they need.
No, absolutely. And to be honest, I'm telling you, Senate, this is something that I think that we have to try to plant these seeds, of mentorship and of giving our youths, an outlet, somebody that they can talk to, somebody that they can ask some questions, and maybe as a movement is really setting up this on even to say take politics out of it, but even at a MP level
Governmental,
to
yeah, yeah,
sponsor and co-sponsor between both parties a mentorship program where you identify prominent people who have traversed that path and stuff, and if they can give just even 2 hours 3 hours a month, what I mean, as a start, just to say, hey, if you have a question, can we have
yeah,
this person call
yes,
you? Can because
absolutely,
and that's all it takes, because it's just some guidance. You have gone through the process, you've traveled that path, because that's the reason I even write this book. Not everybody's going to read it, but that's why I write both of the books. It's really a pathway, for people who are coming from a dire situation, who think that it's too challenging, who think that basically there's too much darkness, there's too much challenges where I'm from, and there's no guidance to really get me out of that situation. So that's the reason why I write it. I said, hey, here's 10 commandments. If you read them, if you believe in them, if you put them into practice and put them into play, there's an absolute way that
yeah,
you can navigate this. And
there,
not
yep,
without strong faith and prayer. That's extremely important. That's an
yes,
important part of it, because when sometimes you're back against the wall and stuff and everything, the belief and the faith that, listen, I'm going to get through, can be much more powerful than anything else that you do.
yes.
Just believing that you
And,
can.
and and what I love is, even in the examples that you cite, it
Yes.
is not that you had to take your money, which sometimes that may be required, and say, here, I will pay this for you. Here's
Yeah.
what you help him in the process of student loan, which is
Yes.
what sometimes people don't know, like how the process work. They don't
Yes.
know how the system work,
Yes.
how to maximize the benefits of the system itself. And
Yes.
some people pull away from mentorship because it thinks like they believe that financially I don't have money to give.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't
Yeah.
they don't want money. They want
Yeah.
guidance. They want direction.
Yeah.
They just want to know that there's someone that I can talk to.
Absolutely.
It may be it may be more a cost on your time more than on your
Yes.
pocket.
True. True. It's time. It's really time. And that's what it is, And, it's never, to be honest, most of these stuff that you do, and people would understand, it's the power of just basically giving some guidance. That's all it is. It's really just basically laying out and saying, hey, I've been through it. The sense there's one of the things that I always say, that you should live vicariously through some people sometimes, because that will prevent you from making some mistakes that other people made. So
Yes.
it's saying that, hey, if you can lend a hand, that will go a far way. And that's what it's funny. That's how I see it. If you can afford to donate and do different stuff and spend, I think you absolutely should. But it's never about money. It was never about money. It's about helping your brother, and that's what you should be doing. It's about paying it forward, but not only with contributing, money. It's really about contributing time, which is much more valuable, to be honest, than
Maintenance.
anything
Yeah,
else.
being that listening here. Yeah, my constant springmate Carlington. I would call him Big Dog Clark. You call him Puppy Dog.
Oh, jeez, my general, that. Yo,
Yeah,
then Puppy Dog play roots together.
yeah, yes.
We're playing the Washington Premier League together. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
yes. Big
Yes,
up, big
yes.
up. Yeah.
Big up, man.
Same
Big
here.
up, big up.
And
How are you,
Clayton,
man?
and
Big.
there you are. The next, how are you? Clayton was here as well. Clayton
Okay,
Barrage,
yeah,
you
man.
were blocked.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
man.
this is I mean, I don't know, like Ali, I believe that stories like these, and I know you do a lot of talking all over, but
Yeah.
maybe you need to do some webinars kind of thing where schools can just invite young people and just talk to them, just state these commandments and do
Yes.
these
Ah,
open webinars where people can
yes.
attend, and invite schools and so they can attend and just listen to
Yeah.
commandment one over a week, and then commandment
Yes.
two, and just go through the
Yes.
10 of them, because like I said, a lot of people may not buy the book, but we can
Yes.
still help them to get the information, which is
Absolutely.
it is yes. So
Absolutely. And it's funny. Um, Somebody mentioned to me other day that it's funny. It's actually a guy in Westmoreland. He said to me, "Yo, you know what you should do, man? You should basically do some leadership session and stuff where you
yeah,
know you have people." But he was, and it's, he was thinking that, listen, man, you have so much, not only on the youth level, but even for people like, on the entrepreneurial level, who wants to get some tips and get some ways and means that they can, how to navigate certain spaces, and how to network, and how to grow their business. And because all these stuff and everything, to be honest, one of the things that I'm passionate about and I talk about a lot is continuous learning. I can tell you that a lot of people is like, hey, why is your name, why you have so much things behind your name? And I'm like, it's not a matter of just I like to have it. It's a matter of just I think that you have to continue
learn.
always to learn, because it's important. That's how you stay ahead. That's how you stay ahead. And it's not staying ahead of the competition. Remember, the competition is you. It's if you can get up today and you're a better version of yourself yesterday,
You've
that
already
means
won.
that's growth.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. It's not about anybody else, it's about yourself. And that's what I truly
I always tell
believe.
people, winning is not being better than you. It's being a better me.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, because as long as I'm being a better me,
yeah,
I'm winning.
absolutely.
Because like I said, it's never about comparing
Yeah,
because each of us have our own race.
True.
And what you have, there may be transferable principles that we can take from your race in my
Yes.
race, but I'm not trying to become um who you are and what you are. I have a
Yeah.
race. And so it is, am I, like I said, am I growing? Am I
Yes.
better today than I was tomorrow? And that's what I tell people. So I always tell them I have all of these books, and people, sometimes it looks like I'm not reading it, but every time I want to read, I should have
Yes.
a book beside me. If I feel
Yes.
like reading, I should not want to read and can't find a book. It means
True.
that I challenge my, because I understand that part of changing is information. And
Absolutely.
you have to the Bible speaks about renewing of the mind. You renew your
Yes.
mind by getting new information.
Yeah.
And it means you're going to have to listen a lot. You're going to have to read a lot. You're going to have
Yep.
to, grow a whole lot
Yep.
in just every area of your life, and be open to those things, but always have information that, are always accessible for growth and development. And like Miles Monroe says, self-development demands self-discipline. Develop the discipline of doing the right things consistently, and you will grow intentionally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny in terms of and that's one of the things that I'm passionate about also, because if you're stagnant, that's where, the challenge is in anybody in your career, in any sports that you're playing, in anything that you're doing. Stagnation cannot be something that's
Yeah.
comfortable. You know what I mean? And being not challenging yourself also. Um, I'm I'm a advocate of sometimes being uncomfortable, because that's stimulate growth as well. Sometimes you have to step out of that comfort zone. Sometimes you just have to color out of that box. You know what I mean? Just to figure out and just to try to see where the different path leads to, and that's something that is extremely important. And I think, for us especially, who and I said for us, for people like me who are coming from the ghetto, and we haven't, there was no gold spoon, and I talk about it in the poem.
Yeah.
And there was no no nobody that we see that was illustrating in our family, that was illustrating these traits that, that mean success and spell success. So um when we're in those positions, or when we're growing, and we cannot be comfortable where we are, just to saying, hey, we have achieved. We have to continue to try to raise the bar each time, because when we do that, we are setting the goals for the
Yeah.
people behind us, and
For the
show
next
them that
generation.
there's
Yeah.
a path,
To raise the bar. Yep.
exactly, that there's a part. And that's what I continue to, that's what I continue to think, that you will continue to hear that I'm doing all different type of stuff, because I want people to see. I want it to be a roadmap that people to, that look like me, can say, hey, it's possible. That's all I'm just trying to say. It is possible. It doesn't matter how hard it might look, it is very possible.
Yeah.
And I am going to walk through. I'm actually, I have, I'm not going to give away what I'm doing, but I have some homework that I have to jump on.
Yeah, man.
um
Yeah, man.
but what
It's,
I'm going to do, I am going to summarize the 10 commandments of Ghetto Youth's Bible, and let people, see the power. But we're going to come back and talk about grit to
yes,
glory, because I am
yes,
going to do, I am actually going to, I'm coming to Jamaica. I'm gonna do a few launches. I plan to do one in Savlamar,
yes.
July the 6th. I'm gonna do one in Kingston. I'm gonna figure out where else I can actually do it. But
You can
I'll
come to Senton, man. Senton is booming.
I know, I know, I
uh,
know. And I
listen,
have to come.
you always plan your trips when you're in Jamaica, I'm
Yeah,
in the States. When you are in the States, I'm in Jamaica. So you
I
need to
know.
give me some timeline
So
so we
when
can be in
yeah,
Jamaica
we
at
need
the
to
same time.
synchronize it. We need to
Yeah.
synchronize it and
People, you
make
don't
sure.
know. You don't. It's from last year.
Yeah,
We have been trying. Well, let me tell you, it's from before, like from the first book was done. I've been trying to get this interview done,
Yes, yes, yes,
right? And it is
yes, you
now the
do.
second book. So let's make some things happen and think. But you wanted to just go through the 10 things
Yeah,
quickly,
man.
or go?
I'm gonna walk through the Ten Commandments just to showcase, and it in the book also it has some illustrations, so I will be taking some of that book with me also. And the first commandment, it says, thou shalt identify strong role models. And in some of the description it said, choose people you respect and admire, not for the things that they can buy, but for their accomplishment, their attitudes that they have developed as well. Turn to those who inspire you academically, athletically, professionally, and spiritually, but learn from situations also. So allow activities and events to inspire you. Just like how people do. And at the bottom, we talk about just identify, role models. The second one says that thou shalt make a plan, you know, and that's extremely important. They said one of the things that I always go by said, fail to prepare, you should prepare to fail. That's Benjamin Franklin. But I could tell you that I learned that from Coach Everton Tomlinson when I was and he always say that when I was training for D Cup. So, and it says, have big dreams. So don't allow your current situation to limit you. Having dreams without vision is like a blind man walking through the wilderness.
Yeah.
So your vision,
Yeah, and I was to say a dream without a plan is a nightmare.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. I'm advocate of writing down your goals and plans as well. When you write it down, it becomes much more real.
Yeah.
So make a tick box.
Yeah. Clayton says, I live in DC and I only see G in Jamaica. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, sir. But
Yeah. Oh man. So, and then the third commandment says that thou shalt commit to be a lifelong learner. That's what I talked about a while ago. The capacity to learn is a gift. The ability to learn is a skill, but the willingness to learn is a choice. And that's Brian, Herbert. The most valuable thing that you can have is the ability to learn. Learn from the experience of others as well. The starting at the bottom of the ladder can be good because you make sure that the ladder it's a ladder also that you want to climb because
yeah,
starting halfway maybe not where you want to go as well, so that's something that you have to be mindful of as well. Look for ways that you can improve yourself and lift yourself out of your circumstances. Pick whatever lessons you can in every circumstances. Negative experience can work in your favor as well, so don't believe that failure is final.
yeah,
I always believe in fail forward. That means when you fail, you learn from it, and that's
yeah,
exactly what it is. Failing is an important part of success. The next one is a play on word. It says, "Thou shalt embrace values over value," and it's using a noun and interchaining it with a verb because what it's actually
right.
saying is that your value system, is extremely important. So to get value, you have to have values.
Yes,
It's don't make a mistake of focusing on the value at the expense of personal values. So it's not about the car, it's not about the house. It's really about what you have in you and your moral compass.
yeah,
And that's extremely important, something that a lot of people, like for me, in the industry, I'm an engineer, I'm an engineer, executive now. But one of the things that I'm known for is people want to work with me, and that's because of my integrity. It's something that if I tell you that I'm going to get something, that I'm going to do it. People believe that that they can trust me and trust my words, and that's important. People will work with you and will stick by you if they feel that they can trust you. Just believe that. So that's something that's extremely important. So you have to define your system and your value system in order to actually get ahead. And commandment fifth says, thou shalt be the CEO of your own life. It's your life, you're making the decision. Remember, you lose, you fail or win by the decisions that you make.
yes,
So you have to think about, how are you going to motivate yourself? Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do, Don't let anybody actually, you have to get all the information and then you make the decision. So even getting a mentor, it's not they're making decision for you.
It's
It's
you.
you are deciphering that was information and making sure that you're choosing correctly and choose right. You absolutely have to take charge of your own life. The sixth commandment state, thou shalt seize the initiative. Grab, hold opportunities with both hands. Position yourself to take those opportunities. If you fail to prepare, as I say, prepare to fail. Sometimes you have to create your own opportunities as well. And something that, you know, when I was on Ian Boyne, um, Ian Boyne said, "Man, so when they give you lemonade, you turn it in. When they give you lemon, you turn it to lemonade.
You know, money.
You know what I mean? So be bold, ask, seek, and knock. You know what I mean? You absolutely have to create your own success. So the seventh commandment says, "Thou shalt nurture an entrepreneurial spirit." And I say it again: grab hold opportunities by both hand. Entrepreneurship is a way of creating independence. Working for somebody, even sometimes mean you're building their wealth, but it's okay as long as basically you're working on yours. Is the same thing. University degree or education doesn't have to be the end of the journey. Consider using those as skills to transition into entrepreneurship. You know, entrepreneur aren't born; they're made. They identify gaps around them and seek to fill them. So at first, balance your time and money.
This time it's not me. I wonder if my guest battery has died. I don't know. Again, people, listen, this is so good. You need to hit the like button. What can I say? Hit the like button. My guess is he back? I think his battery may have gone. Hit the like button. We don't stop to ask people to do that. So if you have not done so, please go ahead and hit that like button. I think he's trying to get back on. But I think this is a battery issue over there. So let's see if Garold can sort that out and come back. We have around 13 minutes to go. So I'm hoping that he can come back to give us the other three commandments. This is from the book Get to Youth Bible. The second one is from Grit to Glory. Yes, AQ, Adrian Armstrong. So it's not that the young players aren't good. I don't know. That seemed to be an old discussion. It look
Yeah,
like your battery went.
yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I think I got plugged in now. So,
So, and we have
so
just a few minutes to go. So
yes,
you're at 7. So I think
seven. So I'm at seven. So let's go to the eighth commandment as well and
yeah.
say, "Thou shalt develop a growth mindset." Very important. I'm actually the chief growth officer for Introva, a global company that I work for. That's something that So even before I have a growth mindset, and they put me in charge of growth. So that's it's really come full
Ah,
full circle. So the growth mindset challenge are exciting rather than threatening, and this is something that I've coined. I said, when you find yourself with funds, and this is talking to the ghetto youths or anybody who has funds to invest, choose something that will grow in value. I talk about investing in real estates. I talk about how
yeah.
cars are diminishing investments because you lose
Value.
value the moment
Yeah.
you drive off the lot. Long range vision is key. Stop living for the day, look for the future. Delayed gratification is one of the best thing that you can get. So don't worry about, put it down. It will grow. So grow from challenges and experience also. So the legacy that you're building is extremely important because sometimes you're just building it for your children, and that's something that I believe in. Invest your time and money wisely. Extremely important. The ninth commandment says, "Thou shalt overdo it." This is something that I believe in. You know, if I play football, I want to be the best footballer. If I play tennis, I want to be if I work, I want to be the best employee. That's my mindset. It doesn't mean that I'm smarter than anybody else or I'm the smartest in the room. But that means I'm going to work you every time because that's what I believe. And that's something that I
Yeah.
think that you have to work hard, to get ahead. Don't settle. if you can be the best, why would you settle for being the second best? Even if
Something
in
else.
your mind,
Absolutely.
exactly, even in your mind. So don't be mediocre. Just try to excel. And that's something that's important. And the last commandment is thou shalt pay it forward. So we rise by lifting others. And that's Robert Ingersoll
Good.
actually says that. What you give to people is what you get in return. Never forget where you're coming from and who helped you along the way. And that's the reason why I do what I do. To help, to give others, to help is to give others will to come back. Also, perhaps in an unexpected way. When you begin to achieve things, become mentors to others. And that's in my book. If someone helps you, reciprocate. If you can pay it forward, please do it. When you're seeking a job, few things are more valuable than showing that you care for others. I could tell you that when I share to the industry that I have a nonprofit organization, that's how that my career multiplied.
Yes.
People
Yes.
saw that, hey man, this is not a normal. People jump on it. I was hiding it first, like I didn't know how to navigate and how to share, what I do with my personal life with work. And the moment I share it, man, the support that I get from people was just amazing. You don't have to have a lot of money to make a difference. Donate your time, your expertise, or your physical strength. Look for ways to help others. And that's how I conclude the Get the Youth's Bible.
Awesome. All right. Listen, we have to come back
Yes.
to do from grit to glory.
Yeah, man.
And just
And
dissect some
both
more of these
both
things.
book is on Amazon. Both book
Amazon,
is on
right?
DTR Foundation, but this is the new book. And if you notice, on the left is actually a picture of Charlene. This is the shop. My
Ah,
yeah, and and
your mother used to. That's your mother
yep,
shop.
yep.
Ah,
And to the right is actually the headquarter building for Introba. And it's really just show, that it's possible. It show where
from
you're coming
Charlie
from.
to show.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. That's good. I
Yeah,
like
man.
that idea. I
Yeah, man.
like that.
So
Listen, my brother, you understand me? I want to thank you so much for coming on. Life without learning is death.
it's that,
Or
man.
ancient light of learning in
Of
splendor
course.
shining over all the
Of all the
West.
West. Yeah, man. It's
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's
man.
absolute
I'm
pleasure. Always
so good.
absolute pleasure, my brother.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I mean? And for
Definitely. So we will.
all the people that are listening, just listen out. We're gonna come back on. We're gonna do launches, book launches and stuff where we can impart knowledge, on everyone. So just look out for you will see me and
Please
hear
let
me
me know.
somewhere.
Please let me
I
know.
will. I will.
Please let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Mac City says he can't wait for the second one. The next time Mac City, listen, the last time I did like thumbnail and all of that, it never worked out. So I
Yeah.
just decided, oh my God, let's just call without
Yes.
any thumbnail. So the next time we're gonna commit to a time and just do
Yes.
the thumbnail and give people time to be a part of it and stuff.
Yes.
But so grateful that you came on. I mean,
Yeah.
continue to be an inspiration to so many young men. I mean, I've heard the name. I've heard like young people talk and they mention a foundation and they mention a name. So that is a lasting impact. And part of good leadership is always leaving a solid legacy. And
Yes.
so years after this, when you're gone,
Yes.
the legacy will be there. So I am
Yes.
so grateful for the work, and I hope that this inspires many others who have made the transition
Yeah.
from maybe not Charlene, but from somewhere else to
Yes.
the upper echelons of society will remember the bridge that they cross and go
Yes.
back across that bridge to take
Yes.
somebody else across, like you have done with so many. So
Yes.
God bless you and all the best to you
Thank you,
and
sir.
your family, my friend.
Thank you,
All
my brother.
right.
All right, man.
Yeah,
All
man,
right.
every time.
All right.
All right. So there you go, people. I mean, what a day. I mean, we started out with a bang, we ended with a bang. We spoke about women issues and men issues and football, and then we ended with this awesome time of discussion. I want to thank every single one of you, all our new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Those who liked and shared the video, thank you so much. I know that the football people, some of them went away because they were upset they wanted more football discussions. But listen, we are here to inspire people and to bring hope to the hopeless. And we endeavor to do that in all our doings. So bless you all. Have a wonderful rest of the evening. Watch some NBA basketball. And, yeah, be good. I am Manningsman. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And as usual, when it gets to the end of the program, we say we are over and we are OUT. Oh,
Yo, watch about dog, SK New heard this. The body out there, Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocherase, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha! Yeah, someone on for the food from young, from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.